Hi, welcome to the new season of All Nerds Here. And joining us. God, how do you stream? This is a thing, isn't it?
No
It's
one
been a
has ever
minute, has it
found out.
not?
Yeah, yeah. Hi, everybody. Welcome. Let's just start over again. My name is Thien Nguyen. Welcome to the new season of All Nerds Here, in which we're playing Masks: A New Generation this week, and for the next 10 weeks. Joining me are our players. Let's start with Alex.
Yep.
Okay, I was like, is there an order? No, I just have to go. All right.
There is
Hey,
now.
everyone. I'm Alex. My pronouns are he, him. I am going to be playing Floas, whose pronouns are she, her, and is the Gladiator playbook by Brandon Leon Gambetta. So that's the first time this playbook is going to be played in maybe any game of masks that you've seen. So that's going to be cool.
Viditya.
Oh, counterclockwise. All right. Hey,
I'm,
everybody.
I'm not looking at the overlay, so
Hey, everyone. My name is Viditya, and my pronouns are he, her, he, him. And I will be playing Rodasi, whose pronouns are she, her, and she is the Legacy playbook. Rodasi, otherwise known as Orbital.
Rue, our producer.
Hello, everyone. I'm gonna take a second because oftentimes my mic is having issues. Make sure that I am actually heard. Okay, I'm gonna assume that's fine. Hello, everyone. I'm Rue. My pronouns are she, her. I'm playing Tanvi, whose pronouns are she, he. She is what is my playbook? The Reformed. She is a former villain. She has the power of Geonesis, and she's trying to be good now. A good hero.
And our usual GM, but now a player this season, Simon.
Hey, it's me, Simon. I am doing a lot of things. I'll be doing background noise as usual. I am also this season the creative director of All Nerds Here, which means that I do things behind the scenes, talking with Kevin and the rest of the crew about our vision for the season, what kinds of characters we want to play, what kinds of stories we want to tell, and how we can best go about bringing that vision to the screen, which is very exciting. And so I'm looking forward to checking this whole thing out with y'all in that context. If it looks like sometimes I'm backseat GMing for Kevin, that's because I am, but only because it's like I have a lot of hands-on experience with this stuff, and my position is both as a player and as an advisor for technical stuff. My pronouns are he, she, they, and I am playing Manny Moreno, whose pronouns are he, him, who is the transformed. He's a little bat kid.
Of course, all those character introductions are unnecessary because you've read all 10 issues of Varsity Hues up until now, and you're joining us for issue 11, which is just like episode 1 but 10 times better. And of course, we are here, these students of these young these young adolescent heroes and superpowered people of Sunset City, California, in the just about like 10 miles north of Los Angeles, in the ever orange and purple hues Sunset City. And this issue, we get the cover, in which this is because it's like almost a soft restart. The first 10 issues were like what in TV would be called a pilot, almost, that was received very well. And this issue's cover, it's stark white background, and we have each of the characters at full turnarounds, turnaround art in like a French art fashion style, in with notes for cosplayers on how to dress up as their favorite characters. So you get the full view, front, back, side, and profiles, and like little details that nobody might have been able to, that nobody like kind of made able to sort of interpret from art to real life, and in anticipation of the huge audience that this comic is going to get. And we start in with a close-up of Tanvi's face, real smushed against a big red ball, and she's getting smashed with a dodgeball. And then we cut into the next panel, which is just a young woman in her gym out clothes and her gym uniform, just screaming, pale-faced, blonde, real red-flushed, just screaming, "That car! My dad left me that car, and you fucking smashed it, and now..." Welcome to gym class. You're playing dodgeball today.
Starting strong.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I
Dodgeball
didn't
is
realize we were going to be going to the
Tanvi,
gym in
apparently.
Monster Prom.
I have an immediate question for you, Kevin.
Yes.
Are the four of us on the same team?
No.
Did
Correct
two of
pick.
us have to pick, and we picked to not?
No, I
shoot
think you were
bow?
assigned teams by the gym teacher. The gym teacher who has a name,
That'd be so
who's always had a name.
You can just say the gym teacher.
That's what people say when they've had names.
The gym teacher who you know as Bulwark.
Ooh.
That is
Ooh.
their name. They are in the background yelling, "Becky Kelsey, what the hell are you doing?"
We're really doing that. We're really
She's
going
got a
for it.
hyphenated
That
first
form was
name.
all wrong.
The form was wrong? I feel like Rodasi is calling out, hey, we established no headshots. All right? That is against Becky Kelsey. Coach!
What if she says on Becky Kelsey's team from behind as Tanvi and
I'm on Becky Kelsey's team and I'm ratting her out.
Rodasi and
I can take it. I don't need your help. Stuff is very
Fliodhas are one
muffled
team.
sounding.
And Manny and Tanvi are on the other, amongst a bunch of other powered students and some non-powered students.
Oof, good luck for them.
I'm sure we'll never hear the end of it.
All right. So,
Yeah, go ahead. You did you hear about this?
oh, yeah. So I think well, Tanvi, like,
As
Rudy,
Tanvi is walking past you to the other side behind, as you do in dodgeball when you're hit,
yeah.
walking past Rodasi in this frame.
I think I'm like,
Sure.
hey, I think I reprimand Becky Kelsey. I go, hey, no headshots, okay? That's how we get fouls, all right? This is how you want to do it. And then I want to just chuck a ball real hard right at somebody's
Oh.
gut.
That's working.
I'm not a whole...
Just aiming for the center of mass. Right?
Yeah.
Do you have a specific target?
Ooh.
You think your
I
gravity
wanna-
powers help
powers.
you identify the center of mass, like really?
That's kind of what I was
It's
like,
like
maybe I
right-
just like...
Ooh.
Are we allowed to use our powers in this game?
You are allowed to use powers.
Oh my god.
Yeah, do you want to tell us what Orbital's powers are
Yes.
and how they manifest?
Yeah.
Yeah, like
absolutely.
100%. This is like a good way to kind of do it. I think Manny's on the other team, right? Is it okay if
Yeah.
I target Manny?
Yeah, yeah, go for it.
Yes.
Do you think it'd be fun? Okay. I think I feel like I call out Manny. I was like, this is how it's done. Hey, Manny! And then I just whip it. Rodasi's powers as Orbital is like gravity and density manipulation. Her family has like the powers of a black hole, basically. And she's still kind of gaining them and learning them. And I think what she does is she just like hooks this thing and like kind of changes its there's going to be a lot of pseudoscience here with me and how gravity and density work, but I think like it just becomes like a lot I don't want to say because denser is like it becomes a lot less dense, so it just zips through things, like it swerves around.
Mhm.
And the way you kind of see it, like the way the panel forms, and I think it's like a cross panel shot, so like you see like the ball like breaks through, like swooshes through several like panel lines, and there's like this ripple effect that kind of emanates from it every time Rodasi uses the power, which is like this like electric blue to like purple within like the same kind of color scheme of like Sunset City, as you kind of like see it boom, 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 kind of like I'm also every time I think about gravity powers, I think about the sounds that that in Mass Effect. I'm blanking on the name right now, but the space magic.
Biotics.
Biotics. Like biotics have like a very specific like boom kind of sound to it.
Kind of like rippling ebb and flow noise.
Yeah. And so like you kind of that's what like the sound effects text.
It looks like a wub 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 kind of
yeah. As I think like it whips, like it kind of like it even like kind of swerves around a kid because I do some like weird fucking shit with it.
You arc the trajectories.
Yeah. And then I'm like, but I just like call out Manny. I was like, hey Manny, heads up.
Right. And Manny like is in the middle of yelling back at Becky Kelsey, like, you can't do that, it's not regulation. And then gets the speech panel of Catch, like shock, like it's a close-up, extreme close-up on his tiny little eyes. We all look like our character art, which I didn't say at the top, was provided very graciously for us by Brittany, aka Puppets Roll Dice on Twitter, who also made the Buppets for Sunflower Street. So we gave her the specs and she delivered the goods. So if you need a visual reference for what our characters look like, it's that.
It could have been puppets.
So Manny is like tiny. Manny is like one of the smallest sophomores that you've ever seen. He's 15, but he's like 4'10", and he is a little bat boy. So he's covered in like purple fur. He has huge bat ears sticking up off the top of his head. Normally he would be wearing a like oversized, like dark, like charcoal gray hoodie with holes cut out so that the ears stick up. But it's gym class, which means that we have to wear horrible uniforms, right?
Yes.
So the uniform is
cool, so they're not nice. They're especially
Right.
not nice.
He has the smallest size jersey and shorts, and they're still too big. So he's got his little like arms with the claws, and he's got the like curved bat feet, so he like it's a close up on his big like lime green eyes, and he just whips around. And then the ball slams as he grows. So he whips around and like gets bigger. So he like starts to grow in size from like 4'10" into like 6 feet. Bulkier, longer shoulders.
His clothes.
Larger central muscle mass. The ball becomes it goes from like super big, like the size almost as big as his head, to like this big as he grows into like a giant hulking like quadrupedal bat form, and like skids backwards.
Do we see in the comic panels, is it like a sudden shift, or is it one of those like you kind of like it's drawn like the silhouette gets bigger, like so you kind of get like the panel of the comparison? You got what I'm talking about?
I think it's like what are they called, cross sections?
Ooh, okay.
There used to be some really cool kids books that I had that had these like cool cutaways of things.
Yeah.
But also like time lapse. So it's a bit like it's a long panel time lapse.
Yeah.
Where the first panel is the ball coming towards him, and him panicking, tiny size. Then or the first part of the panel on one side, and then a couple spaces further into the same wide panel, he's getting bigger and growing, and then by the end of it, he's like this huge bat form, holding the ball by the end. So it just time lapse.
Awesome.
And then it cuts to a panel like at the end where he's holding the ball, and like tosses it up and catches it.
And if I could jump in there, I think we see a big like spiky speech bubble come in over top of that. It says Camazons, which is his hero name. And we cut over to see Flois standing on the opposite side of the dodgeball battlefield, in like just a very like firm stance, and she just holds a hand out and says, "Hit me."
I imagine like Flois's panel is designed almost like Like it looks like a screen capture of like a Ridley Scott medieval movie where like kids in the backgrounds are like getting hit and like it's real dramatic all in the background around Flois.
Yeah, it's in slow motion in
Yeah.
the movie version.
That's so good.
It suddenly like goes like real dark, like gray and green scale for your, except just on you.
Nice, yeah.
So good.
And
There's
I
like
think
kids
we,
crying in the corner,
It's a battle.
like holding.
We get a
their
nice,
TV.
a nice like zoomed up shot of her face. We can see her cool horns going off, and she does that cool bovine thing where like you snort and like plumes of steam come out of your
Yeah.
nose. And then she smiles cockily as she waits for the heavy hit of the dodgeball to come in.
Yeah, and Manny hucks it. Like, phoom.
Yeah, we get some like real, Shaolin soccer, like the ball is like deforming under the speed of
Oh, I
your
love
tremendous throw, right? And
Oh yeah, it's gonna be like the long arm stretching backwards,
Yeah.
distorted
Oh, yeah.
perspective.
Some real
Sports anime.
brushstroke.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
brushstroke, haiku, fucking.
Mhm.
Like the throw is one spread, and then the catch is another spread.
Yeah.
Like,
Are
you
you
gotta
are
be
you
in between?
are you throwing it right into my waiting hand, or are you
Yeah,
aiming somewhere
yeah,
else?
for sure.
Nice, the honorable move. That's very good. Yeah. So there's just like a real like boom, like shockwave going out. Kids go flying to the sides as the impact happens. But I think I didn't really understand the rules of dodgeball, so I don't catch it. It just bounces off my hand and falls, and then I'm like, "Yes, I'm victorious!" And then one of the other kids has to like tell me that I'm out now.
Can Rodasi just be like, "No, you idiot! Now you're out."
What? I deflected the strike. I'm
You're supposed to catch it.
Rodasi
make
and
any
Manny
sense.
say that at the exact same time.
Oh, and I think this is our chance to see Flois. She has, as you can see in our picture, she's got like sort of a look as though she has like long, thick hair going over her eyes because she's designed like a Highland cattle, which are really cute. If you Google a picture of them, they're so good. And she has, instead of hair though, it's like sort of like sensory tendril things, because I can't play an alien character without making them super weird. So as she realizes that she has actually gotten taken out, her little sense tendrils, which have been sort of like moving around, kind of like droop, and she's like, "Well, fine," and she just like sulks and like stomps off of the field to like stand in a line of kids who were out.
I also forgot. This is just about me in terms of rules of dodgeball. If you catch the ball that I throw at you, am I out also? Is that how that works? Or is it just?
I think so.
That's
you
how
get
I've
hit.
played it.
Yeah. All right.
Or you're asking
so,
this as the character or the
as the player, because Rodasi would also,
if the ball
'Cause-
gets caught, then
Yeah.
the way I've played it and the way this game is getting run, if the ball gets caught, somebody who's out gets pulled back in.
Oh, okay. Oh, so like
Interesting.
Tanvi's back in is the idea.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
So,
I feel
like
as
Tanvi
we
would
see
be
them,
like-
a flow is going out, but Tanvi is coming back in.
Tanvi
That's
run
good.
like walks past Rodasi and is just like yes, and then like towards Rodasi because it's sort of indirectly you caused her to get back in, and then she totally like in view of you has some like pieces of rock that she's kind of rotating in her hands, which is what is that?
Like just floating.
Yeah, that she's like, and she fully looks at you like, yeah, I'm gonna definitely use this as I play. I want to know what Rodasi's reaction is if she like.
Oh my god.
Concern, hopefully.
100% concerned.
Like she's also kind of looking to you for like,
like,
approval of like it's a good idea. She's like, look, yeah, right.
No, like you just silently like. No.
Manny is shrinking down from his giant bat form, so now he's like back in tiny kid. Like the jersey's a little like askew.
No.
And he like looks over at Tanvi and goes, hey, whoa, we're trying to get them out, not kill them.
Tanvi
From
keeps
like
Go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead.
Tanvi keeps moving forward, but she's like, fine. And then she like throws all the rocks. Everyone else gets to use their powers. I don't get to do anything. And she like walks in really upset looking. She like stands and she's like, you used your prep, and then she's just like grumbling to herself, like recounting each person like how they used their powers and got away with
pitch
it.
the scene like this moment is like Manny's yelling at Tanvi while balls are flying past each other.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
like a Wild West shootout where like
yeah.
Manny's like exasperated, like we're trying to not hurt them. Like I don't get to use my powers. Fish.
I think like, and also like, you know, I don't get to use my powers. The balls are flying everywhere, but we also see like other powered kids. Like one of them is like on fire. Like another one, you know what I mean? Like it's just like ridiculous.
You just get like a panel of Tanvi like, are you kidding me?
There's like a gang of monkeys that like a kid has like, you know, animal telekinesis that's throwing all these balls around. It's like, come on.
She's like trying to get the gym teacher's attention. She's like, I can't use rocks, but
Speaking
monkeys can throw dodgeball.
Tanvi, do you have a last name?
I do not have one ready.
You shed your last name.
I don't.
The true villain
I mean,
origin.
Kind of.
Yeah.
Actually,
Based on your origin story.
Yeah, she probably has one for the school because they needed it, but she doesn't use it.
What's the like the, you know, like in Game of Thrones they have like the bastards of a city get a last name. It's fine.
I was trying to think of like a
Ray?
Like Snow.
Yeah, like
I was trying to think of like an Indian last name that's
Palm.
Like something like that where it's like some well-off family or something, but I can't think of it. Place it right now.
Patel.
No.
Question.
We're
Everybody
farmers.
knows, all of our dedicated readers know that Tanvi is the Reformed. Was Tremor always your hero name, or is it just your current hero name? Or, I mean, your powered person name.
It's her current name. I think she had a different one as a villain. I don't have it figured out at the moment, but her mentor gave her a name. I think Tremor is what she had as a kid also, prior to being a villain, which is why she's retaken it. But her villain mentor gave her, like, dubbed her something else. Like,
if you're going to work for me, you're going to be called this.
I actually like the idea that like we don't, like the audience doesn't know what it is. Like we can kind of save it for like, a moment if we want, right? It's always like crossed out in panels. The speech bubble always gets covered in flashbacks, like stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That could be.
We haven't even had like that many issues of your spin-off, like your solo comic either.
Yeah.
What we do get is like in this really big, like probably a quarter page, just this text panel that yells Quaker.
Nice.
Because this gym teacher is a piece of shit and can't remember your actual name. If you're not going to respect my court, you can get the hell out of here and go to detention. The point of the exercise is to use your powers to your full extent.
Wait, hold on.
Wait,
yeah,
this
full
teacher
extent.
is trying to get you kids to fucking go ham on each other.
Oh, I want you to send this other kid to the hospital.
Is the gym teacher trying to shift Tanvi's labels?
Yes.
Ooh, nice.
Let me pull that
So
up.
for those of you at
real
home,
quick.
Masks is a game about teenage identity. It's, yes, you are playing superheroes, but it's also about having lots of big, messy feelings, because that's what being a teenager is about, and identity and who you are. So instead of like stats, like strength and intelligence, in Masks, everyone has labels, which they ascribe to themselves, but also are sort of how other people see them. So we have things like danger, freak, mundane, superior, and savior. If you have a high value in one of those, or a low value, it means you see yourself as that thing or less like that thing. So like Manny, for example, as the transformed, is a bat, so he has high freak because he sees himself as a weirdo outsider because he looks like a bat mutant. So when someone tries to shift your labels, especially adults specifically, Other people can try to do that too, but they have to have influence. Then they sort of are you get a sense of what they're trying to push you towards. So one label will shift up and another label will shift down. So your stats are always in flux because your identity, your sense of yourself is always changing. So Tanvi is being pushed towards one thing and away from another thing. And once
Currently,
you
I
know that,
believe-
you can decide whether you want to accept that label push or you want to reject their words.
Currently, Mr. Wilson, Bulwark, is trying to push you down your mundane.
Push down my mundane. Okay.
Yeah, they want you to use your power. They want you to be less normal. And like as this is happening, we get sort of the game is still going on in a couple panels, and like there's this effect happening to like some, especially the normal kids, of like this like little force field effects that is like sort of what's the opposite of inferred?
Unpowered, Kevin. Don't call them.
Implied. That's implied to be coming from the gym teacher, because he's not trying to let kids die, but these kids are getting bruises still.
Nice. And since he's
Interesting.
encouraging Tanvi to be more like reckless, do you think he's trying to shift her danger up?
Yes.
Yeah, Tanvi, I'm gonna say she accepts that especially because of the throwing out Quaker. Another part of Tanvi's backstory is that she doesn't have complete control of her power. Her mentor had part of why she went over to him or to them is they created a device that helped control her power, and now she uses they took it back because she is no longer working with them, so that's why she has the little diodes on her neck. That's where it was placed. Her interim very not great resolution is to wear compression like sleeved long sleeves and leggings, which is extremely uncomfortable in California where it is super hot.
Oh, no.
I actually hadn't thought of that.
She claims that this helps somewhat. It is very hard to tell if it is just like a placebo effect or it's just coming from her. But yeah, calling out that makes her feel guilty and like just bad about being reminded that like she doesn't have control of her powers. Like even earlier when she dropped it, it wouldn't have dropped perfectly. It might have like still kind of floated and maybe hit a kid on the leg as it like went. So she's like, oh, you want full force, and
Destroy the
aims
court.
straight towards whatever kid is kind of in the vicinity of the teacher, but it definitely whips right past the teacher.
It's Becky Kelsey.
It's gotta be Becky Kelsey.
Yeah, so
If you're embracing that shift, then your danger is going to go up, and the other stat
Mundane.
goes down.
Mundane
goes
down.
down.
Gotcha, let me.
But you can't ever go over +3 or -2
Okay, let me.
Without
Double
consequences.
check
without consequence. You can do it. It's just things get messy.
Okay, I am. Okay, I cannot let danger go up anymore.
So push danger.
Let's do it. How do you
So what does
use
it
your
look like when you
powers
go
in this
all
case?
out?
Yeah.
Like you're throwing past Becky Kelsey towards the gym teacher, you said?
Yeah, it looks like it's maybe in the vicinity of Becky Kelsey, so that it can seem like, yeah, sure, I'm
yeah.
going towards a student. But it very much like for anyone that season for the teacher, like it whips right past their head. I don't even think she gets a ball. She gets one, but that's not what she throws. She just kind of pulls out a piece of the earth, like because she's pulling it out, like it kind of pulls up the flooring of the gym so that it can
Yeah,
get
because we're in a
out.
gym.
Yeah.
So
Can-
for
can
her
I
to
make
get to it, it breaks through the gym, probably further back where it's not just coming up underneath the kid. It's coming up from like the side. I think she pulls it up from the side because she's really just mad at this teacher more than she is at the students, and she just whips this giant chunk of earth, and it hits so close that the wind like sweeps past his
So
face.
you're throwing it.
God.
Manny sees that you like are angry, and we will learn about this, I'm sure, in a moment. But we have a connection, the two of us. We have opinions about each other. So Manny sees that you're, and he has a sense that like, oh my god, you're angry, and like in a bad way. You're not thinking rationally. So he sees that Tanvi pulls that chunk of earth up and throws it. There's like a panel of realization, like wait, and he jumps, and his arms go long and turn into bat wings. So he's still in tiny form as he like flaps and soars to try and intercept the rock. Not the basketball, but the actual chunk of stone. And as the rock flies towards the teacher, he wraps it around himself, shifting his size to like try and accommodate the rock, to protect the teacher from getting hit. Even if like, because he doesn't know that you're trying to like just intimidate the teacher. He's like, oh my god, you're gonna kill Mr. Wilson.
And even if you don't, like, you're assaulting a teacher, and that's just
Right.
bad.
You're already on thin ice, Tanvi.
It sounds like Manny's trying to defend.
Absolutely, I am trying to defend Mr. Wilson from something or an immediate threat.
Right. Go ahead and roll
Tanvi
plus
is
save.
so
I
betrayed.
roll plus my savior. My savior is currently 0. And it is. I can scroll down. Hey, a full hit. Sweet.
Nice.
Nice.
Yay.
Quick question: what's your free, Tanvi?
Oh.
Just for frame reference.
Let me look real quick. It's only a 1.
Only one. Okay. That's all.
Yeah, it's my.
So what does it look like when you've caught this boulder, for lack of a better term, Manny, and in your wings, do you just take the hit? Are you able to fly away with it? What's it look like on the page here, as you successfully
so
divert its trajectory?
Technically, this is like Tanvi. I give Tanvi -2 to your roll if you're rolling a thing.
Oh, against PCs. That's right. Yes, I was
It's a
looking
PC
against
threat,
NPCs.
PC threat. But it is what it is. So like, May grabs the boulder, and I think takes the hit and slams into the bleachers, dislodging like a handful of kids who are out and like on their phones, just like texting or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, so they go, "Pah!" like bowling pins, because it's a comic book. They go flying off to the sides, and it seems like, oh my god, like there's this giant hole in the bleachers, and then 2 giant bat hands go boom, boom, and pull his tiny form out from inside the bleachers. So he's fine. Like, he took the brunt of it. The bleachers are the worse off.
Flois looks up for where she is standing nearby out and is like, oh, he caught it. Okay. It doesn't count that he was out of bounds. All right, fine. This is all fine. She like kicks a trash can that goes flying.
Real quick, as this happens, Tanvi is still looking at Bulwark and is just like, real nice hero stuff, having a student defend you to the teacher.
Oh my god!
Sass.
Can
Yeah,
Can I-
Rodasi, you want to get into this?
Oh yeah, Rodasi like 100% just I think can I just I'm trying to decide whether or not Rodasi would like okay. I think she just
Just like pick me
pelts.
up.
Yeah, I think she I think she just like walks up to Tanvi and like like is like a foot away from you and just like kind of tosses it at your body and says, "Tanvi, you're out. Get off the court.
Oh,
You need to cool off."
oh, I feel like she'd be fighting between not wanting to listen to what you're telling her to do because she doesn't want people to tell her what to do,
Yeah.
but she is also like, these are really the only friends that I have, and I don't know if I want to fuck
You
this
can.
up.
I think
Your
like you
intent.
can. Huh?
What's your intent?
My intent is, I think like you can see in you can. Oh my god! So you can see like Rodasi is like concerned. Is like, this is a mistake. Like, you have made a mistake, and you need to like, we need to de-escalate.
Yeah.
You know. Do I have a blueprint?
And does Rodasi have influence over you?
Oh.
I don't. I have influence over no one.
You have
Okay.
influence over none of us.
You,
which I think is
you
cool.
have influence over me, technically.
Everyone has influence over Rodasi.
Somehow influence.
Our team leader is influenced by everyone.
Oh, my symbol of authority only works on NPCs.
On
Never mind.
NPCs.
Okay. Yeah. Because
I want to go with maybe this is like something about this tone is like a conversation we've had before that would bring like Thunby back to a normal state. Like, there's something about the way you say it that
Can we see
reminds
that
like of
conversation?
another conversation or something, and that even though it sounds harsh, she's like, okay, I get what you're doing.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, like it's like a flashback panel.
Yeah.
What
So
was that conversation?
You're
Let's see it
out.
play
So
out
our-
as we cut and paste from previous issue to save budget because we wasted it on 2 splash panels about throwing the catch.
It was a good catch.
Well, so Tanvi and Rodasi are like buds. Like Tanvi is like a bad influence on Rodasi, and I think like Rodasi is like a good influence on Tanvi, right? Like it's we have kind of a relationship that balances each other out, because we're like two sides of the same coin, you know. Like Rodasi is a legacy and like a very kind of like popular, has like all the good press on her, but then there's also a lot of expectations about family. Tanvi, you know, is a former villain, has all the bad press on her, and has the expectations of being an awful person. So I think like, can I say that this is like a quiet moment of us like on like a roof somewhere that we shouldn't be? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and I
yeah.
think like maybe we like stole some beers or something. Like, 'cause we're both 18.
Yeah, you're both 18.
Yeah.
18, that's fine. Still under the drinking limit.
No, that's what I mean. Like, it's like we're doing something bad, right?
Yeah.
Like, not that you shouldn't. Like, it's like, but also we're adults here. Like, as players, like I feel like, yeah, that's fine.
Behind the
Yeah.
scenes, the editor really had to fight the writer to like keep the scene. Or, like,
I
cut
think
it. Like,
here's the thing. I think we can get away with this. In the comic panel, it's bottles, but none
Like,
of the
who
labels
knows
say
what's in
anything.
there?
Who knows
Yeah.
what's in it? You know what I mean?
Could
Like,
be soda pop.
It could be root beer.
they just happen to be green glass bottles, and there happens to be a Heineken ad at the end of the
There are
Maybe
just
it's ginger
X's
ale.
on it for no reason.
For no
The
reason.
cartoon
It's
It
X.
paper
absolutely
bag.
says like editor's note, not real
Yeah.
booze.
There's some like
Smiley face.
People in
Duels.
chat are just saying paper bags, and I love the idea that we just have.
Oh, so then you just look like
so it just we look
Makes it so much
absolutely
worse.
like delinquents.
Oh,
with-
it's good. But like, you know, I think like, well, Rue, where should we not be? Right? Like, what kind of like,
Oh.
where are we?
Well, what rooftop would you
We're just
go
on the
to?
school. Or are we like,
Yeah, I would think either like the school.
or on some? Because we can both like kind of fly. You know what I mean? Right?
Then you can just make like a bunch of steps.
Yeah. You can. Oh, I love the idea that we just see like floating rocks that like step up.
She's just like, yeah.
you're just like on the top of a lifeguard tower at the beach.
Oh.
Oh, that's fun.
That's good.
Just against, I keep forgetting that we're like on the coast. This is like
Oh, yeah.
near LA, so we can have like a
Yeah,
nice
it's a good
kind of
coast.
night beach. Oh my god, it's nice beaches. Okay, listen, you guys got nice beaches.
We do.
That's. I think like so like the flashback is like Rodasi, because I think it's a pretty small one, but like probably Rodasi is like is like, hey, you you'll tell me when I'm like being an ass, right?
Oh yeah, 100%. I will. You didn't need to ask that. I would have already done that.
All right, because you need to calm down. I think like she kind of like segues into like, I'm a little worried about you, Tanvi. I need you to stick around in this school, okay?
I think she was like gonna say a joke, and then the "I need you to stick around" is like really unexpected for her to hear. To like hear someone say, like, "I want you to be around me." She's like, "Oh." And she's like, "Sure. I mean, I have to stick around this school because they made me come back here." And she's like trying to like make it a levity thing, like, "Oh yeah, I mean, clearly I have to stay here even if I wanted to leave." Could we say that this is also like maybe not too long after we'd had some like hero mission that went a little Ari, that because she did something that seemed okay, like she took a big risk and it caused some issue.
Yeah. Like piling up a freeway.
Yeah, I think.
Oh.
I feel it's like, you know, readers of Varsity Hues knows what this flashback is for, and I think also at the same time, like you, because like Rodasi has a big, you know, ego issue, I think, and it's like you've like pulled her down in like a very like in like a humane way, right? Like I feel, you know, we haven't mechanically done this, but I feel like Tanvi like pushes Rodasi's mundane a little bit, you know, or at least like pulls down her superior in a nice way.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, I think she would be like maybe there's like a moment where you're being very like a hero, and she's like, "You know, you're like a teenager, right, Rodasi?
Oh yeah.
We're kids. You don't have to, like, after you've just given some like heroic speech." She's like, we can just sit at a lifeguard tower and chat, and it doesn't have to be a big profound moment. You know that, right?
Oh my god. Okay. And I think, okay, I know how to like kind of punctuate that. I think Rodasi kind of laughs and goes, "Yeah, I mean, you know, I guess it just comes with the label. Sorry about that. All right, here's a promise."
Are you about to share a vulnerability or a weakness with someone?
Wait, me or Rodasi?
Rodasi.
No,
Rodasi.
Because Tanvi is absolutely closed off here.
Yeah.
Don't look at me.
Oh my god. Yeah, I think oh no, I think 100%. I think so. Here we go. Is this triggering a move? Or is
so
this
every
okay.
playbook has two important things about like sharing moments with people. When you share a triumphant celebration with someone, each playbook has something that happens, and when you share like a vulnerability or a weakness with someone, something else happens depending on your playbook. So if you're like opening up, like as you said, well, it comes with like the label. Then part of what happens is you also, as the legacy, tell that person a secret about your legacy, including your own true feelings about it, and that lets you clear a condition and give them influence over you.
Ooh, okay, yeah.
Double influence.
All right. So I think like this goes hand in hand. It's not directly a secret about my legacy, but it definitely has to do with it. So I'll say what I was going to say, where it's like, Rodasi kind of like looks off, you know, it's like a profile panel of Rodasi like kind of holding onto their paper bag, looking off at the ocean, and it's like, it's like, I don't know, it's been a really rough 4 years, you know, and it's tough, and you know, the Vioma family, that's Rodasi's last name, I think I forgot to say it. The Vioma family and the Orbital and my sister and my parents and my dad and you're right, it's a lot for a teenager, and I know I'm not alone. Like, I know we're not alone. You know, I have a lot of friends and things like that. But and then like it kind of cuts to like Rosie looking at Tanvi, and it's like, but I don't think I've really had anybody who gets it like you do. The expectation, the failure, and I think like it just like tosses the bottle, like tosses the bottle, and then like I think maybe like no, actually, draw this it later. That feels really wrong.
You like
Nail
think
it
about it.
into a
And then-
recycle bin.
Yeah. There we go. It's just all about like I like kind of manipulate it so it like whoop, right into like a little recycling bin.
You density manipulate it perfectly. And
Yeah. I'm really good at that. Throw the bottle right into space.
right into a
Whoosh.
black hole.
Yeah,
Seeing that, she's like, nerd.
How about this? I want to make let's make a promise. All right. If either of us get too in our heads about something, we'll just tell the other to cool it. And then I think like sticks out a pinky. We're gonna little pinky.
Oh my
promise.
God. Yes.
I think Bobby has like moved to the very like weird anime thing where she's just like hanging over the edge, but like all like,
100%,
like,
yeah.
dead like weight over, and she looks over and she's like, ew, and then but like and then grabs
That's
it.
such a great answer.
And she's like, I can't believe.
Can't
And
believe
then,
we're doing this.
yeah, and then she like pulls you really hard, and she's like, "Tell anyone I did this, I will fucking kill you."
Oh my god.
I think, and then we get like a life preserver and it's thrown past you. It's like, hey, get out of there, get off of there. And then that intercuts with a dodgeball being thrown at you.
Ooh,
as
that's
like,
a
you're
really
both
good
looking
pick.
at each
Yeah.
other.
So you have no conditions to clear for
I don't,
this,
yeah.
but you give influence to Tanvi. Guess what? Tanvi already has influence over you,
Yeah.
which
So-
means that Tanvi immediately gets to shift your labels.
Mm.
So one goes up and the other one goes down. Tanvi's choice.
Ooh,
Based
I
on
love
that
this
interaction.
because that's really interesting that this is happening. What do you want to shift for me?
Yeah, I don't know what your labels look like. I'm like, let me
Just
pull
follow
up
your
the,
heart.
Well, like,
And if-
what do you think is
You can also,
appropriate
yeah.
here?
Oh,
Don't
yeah.
look
Like,
at my.
what's-
Don't look
what do
at
you
my stats.
want from what does Tanvi want from Rodasi?
I think lowering either savior or superior. I'm trying to think which one is more apt. I guess savior.
Like outside of mechanics, well, like what is Tanvi feeling? Like what do they want?
Oh,
We can
what do they
translate
want? I think in this moment he's wanting like Rodasi to be
Like
share kind of more of a just like a mundane moment with them.
Yeah.
Like we're not team lead and former villain.
Yeah.
We're just
But,
two kids that are hanging out and we stole some beer and like this is a normal moment. I think she really needs that too because her growing up has been so weird also. Like she has been out of school training to be a villain and being a supervillain and then is now thrown back into school and she just wants like what she sees other kids having that was taken away from her. So she just wants
and that's
kind of like
that's
a regular-
encapsulated by what you said at the beginning. It's like, we're kids, right?
Yeah.
We're not. You don't have to be so sanctimonious. That to me, that sounds absolutely like you're trying to push her mundane up and her
Yeah.
savior down.
Yeah.
yes. Okay.
Because savior is like I'm gonna
Okay.
protect people. People
Yeah.
see you as a savior when you're like acting noble or like trying to martyr yourself for them. Whereas superior is more like I'm the best person in the room.
Okay.
Like I'm the best at what I do, kind of stuff. You're like you're not a superhero. You're a teenager. You're 18.
Yeah.
Be a kid for a minute.
Yeah. Like, at least for right now, let's
Yeah.
throw that out for a second.
Would I also have triggered like comfort or support? Like, is this kind of like a moment where I get to do the other as well, or do we
That's
feel
what I was
like
thinking. Like, did you want to either comfort or support, or are you trying to provoke? Like, are you trying to get them to do something more specific than?
I really think it is like just a cooling down. Like, I think you know, we cut back and it's just Rodasi saying like, hey, cool off, you know.
That seems like you're provoking.
Yeah, because you're
Rodasi
in the moment
or,
you're trying to get them to like hold
Tanvi.
off and like stop being.
Oh,
so
provoke
aggro.
someone. Right.
Like
I forgot
you
about
need
that.
remember this conversation
to-
we just
yeah.
had. You need to go back to that and
You need
live
to-
up to the promise that we just made.
Okay.
Uh,
That
You're
makes
more
sense.
trying to
Tanvi,
convince them
because
to
we
do
have
something.
this situation established, like is absolutely susceptible to your words.
Like that scene was a comfort and support, but this in the moment,
This
of
is
referring
the
back to it is
provoke,
provoking.
yeah. Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
Like remember that conversation we had is more of a kind of a push manipulate.
All right. When you provoke someone to. All right. Well, I'll
Well, did you
Push
shift
and
your labels?
superior,
Like
which
as
is now
I did
worse.
shift my labels. Yeah.
Oh no, your savior.
My savior and then my superior is still. All right.
Yeah.
so you're gonna be rolling with superior for this.
Wham! That is a full hit.
That makes sense.
So on a 10 plus, you get both the stick and the carrot for the move.
Yes.
So for PCs, if they do it, you add team to the pool, which is a resource that we can spend to help each other out. If they don't do it, they mark a condition. So on a mixed hit, normally you would choose either the stick or the carrot. Like, hey, I want you to do this thing, and I'm going to punish you if you don't, or I'm going to reward you if you do. You get both. So if Tanvi does like pull back and like, you're right, I got to cool it, we get a team. And if Tanvi doesn't do it, then you have to mark a condition.
And because it's the top of the session, you start with a team. So
Yeah, we have one team in the pool already.
All right. Do you do it?
Ooh,
Because you still get to choose. It's just.
Tommy, you chill out.
Yeah. I think she has like a moment where she's just like, I'm gonna punch whoever's next to me, like, and then looks over and sees that it is Rodasi and kind of registers what you're saying, and yeah, like has that kind of that moment where she like glazes over for like a second as she remembers and is like, so stupid. She like just throws like a rock onto the ground and like kind of stomps off. She's like, I'm gonna do this my way though. I'm gonna stomp off angrily. Behind the teacher's back though, she's just like,
Yeah.
You're doing the like Korra episode 1. Like,
Yeah.
walk away.
Yeah.
but if he turns
Remember
around,
the
she
stink
like
eye?
she tries to be good if Bulwark like turns.
Yeah.
So I think, unless anybody else has any other ideas or like any other moments they want out of a dodgeball game, I think that's like about the juice of it, and we could kind of go to the next scene. Yeah.
Can I do a moment with Tanvi, like as we're cooling off? So Tanvi walks like out of the gym to the locker room. Where would you go?
Yeah, I guess if it looks like things are wrapping up, she would just leave. She's just like, all right, well, I'm done with this nonsense. Like, I don't want to play anymore. So she probably just like heads out.
Oh, just heads out. You're like, I'm going to lunch.
And just get to the lockers before everybody else is in there.
Yeah, I think you're like changing, or you're doing whatever you're doing.
Yeah, change it.
And a tiny purple furry hand slams like your locker closed. And there's Manny like looking up at you because he's 4'10", and you're not.
Yeah.
You're more than that. What the hell is that?
for right now, I'm walking into the locker room, Manny. She like tries to like pull the locker back open.
Right. And he is like wrestling with the locker with you, like puts his hand in the way of it so you can't close it. Like, no, jackass. Trying to crush Mr. Wilson's skull with a rock.
You heard it. He provoked me first, calling me a Quaker. Look, sometimes my powers aren't super under my control, and I don't know that a teacher should be pointing that out to me. Manny. She like really punctuates it because she's like, really? You're defending a teacher?
Yeah. And he starts to, as you're like snapping back, he like gets a little bit bigger. His cute little bat nose gets longer, and his fangs get longer. His face turns like more like wolf bat like, and he snarls at you. Don't talk to me about not controlling your powers.
Wow.
And then he gets like normal kid again, and like he's like, clearly that was not intentional.
Mm-hmm.
And he like his face flushes in the panel following that. He's like super embarrassed.
When that's happening, there's like an encircling of Earth coming up around Manny too, also kind of subconsciously from Tanvi, as like she's getting angry and her powers are absolutely just reacting to how she's feeling and not meaning to. And then she catches it in the moment and she's like, you really don't want to do this with me, Manny.
And he looks up like, you're right. I don't want to do anything about it. I don't need to. I'm not the one you need to prove anything to. It's everyone else. You come here because you want to be different, and you just keep doing the same things over and over again. You can't change, Tanvi. You might have mom fooled. You might have the principal fooled and everybody else. But guess what? It takes a monster to know a monster.
Oh!
I am taking advantage of my influence that I have over Tanvi in this moment. And what I want to do is surrender that influence that I have to inflict a condition on you.
Yeah, let me look at those conditions.
Nice.
Do you get to choose or do I?
You get to choose whenever you take a condition.
Okay.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Ooh.
It's just
It's up to you to decide how
you dictate how your
respond
character
to me
feels.
doing that.
Right.
Actually, I don't want to hurt you. I want to shift your labels.
Okay.
Oh,
That's
okay.
what I'm trying to do. Because I have influence over you. And so whenever anyone has influence over you, you can try and push people around.
Yeah.
So
What do you shift?
I think that's pushing your freak up. And your mundane down.
Cool.
Danger. Sorry, your danger up. It's not that you're monstrous, it's that you're like, you're gonna hurt people.
You're dangerous.
You can't control
Ooh.
yourself yet.
So if I'm
Interestingly, that will make you mark a condition.
yeah, I was gonna say my danger is at 3.
I forgot about that.
So
Okay.
with that,
That's awesome.
So if you
I think
if
that
you
would make
accept
sense.
my words,
Honestly.
then something happens. If you want to reject my words, then something else happens.
Okay. I think it makes sense that Tanvi would accept it. I think especially almost because of the moment with Rodasi before too, because there was this like, oh, I have to, like she's remembering like, oh, Rodasi had to come in and like cool me off. And like, I needed to be handled. And then this moment again with Manny where she's like, yeah, like the moment that was good is like now being shifted in her mind that like, oh yeah, like I need to be handled because I'm too dangerous, and I'm like, so like that's kind of what internally is going on. I'm trying to think if she would say anything in response. I think
So because it's a comic book, you can say something, but you can also have a thought bubble.
Yeah.
yeah, so I think in the thought bubble that's where the thought about Rodasi comes through, where she's like, yeah, she had to come in and like control the villain because this is who I am. Like, I'm just this villain. I think she like spits out to Manny like, I just need to change enough so that I don't hurt people. I don't need to be a hero. I just need to be less of a villain enough that I don't get in people's ways. And then she just kind of like pulls open the locker and is like not talking anymore. She's like, I do not want to have this conversation anymore.
Do you like dent the locker? Like, do you like, does it like bend you? Like, are you angry? Like, is it visually how, like, are you like grasping it, ripping it open, kind of?
I think
or do you feel like it's like you're kind of in control of that multitude?
I think the locker kind of just bounces, like maybe it bounces around violently, but it's the like, there's just like a latent tremor that is like getting a little bit stronger under both of us.
Like
so,
you get like the next panel or something like that, you see like cracks in the ground.
Yeah.
Oh, so like Manny walks off and he's like, I'll see you at home. And he turns and he storms away. And you're like, it's drawn, the panel is drawn so that it looks like you're like completely in control. But we see it's like like drawn from a bit of above. And like the ground below you is just splintered.
Yeah.
So even though your locker is fine, like the tremors have erupted from around you.
Yeah.
So your danger would go over +3. Right?
Okay.
So instead of shifting, it stays where it is. Your mundane goes down.
Okay.
And you take a condition, the GM's choice.
Ooh.
Oh.
Here's some good
Between
ones.
afraid, angry, guilty, hopeless, and insecure.
Seems like guilty, maybe. Because you're feeling like you have to be like sort of handled here. Guilty or insecure? Probably guilty. Guilty seems like the good shit.
Yeah, I think guilty makes sense.
Cool.
Oops.
Are we done with?
Yeah, that's that moment. That's all I wanted to do.
Yeah.
That was cool.
Good times.
Fliodhas, Rodasi, you're both seniors. What class do you have to go? What's the one class you have to go?
Do we want it to be something that
Is it
kind of
like
makes sense? Or is it
ethics?
Yeah.
Yeah, is it like a normal class or a more superhero-y
Or a
class?
super class. We're still like
Hero
in
ethics.
public school, so it's like we have to take like normal classes.
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
Like this isn't for people that have like this isn't a super school.
No,
It's a school
this is
with
a public
supers.
school that happens to have powered people and powered programs, and because it's a public school, all public schools have powered programs to some extent because they are people, and you need to cater to all people. This is a public school who receives government money, ideally.
Maybe it's I kind of want it to be something that I'm like bad at because I'm already kind of feeling bad about myself. So maybe it's like
no.
chemistry and we're lab partners. That sounds kind
Oh
of
my god,
cute.
that's really
so
good.
Okay.
That's so cute.
Yeah, I'm into this.
Nice.
I think, and Rodasi is like, very good student, right? So, or she's like,
Oh my god, pottery.
Okay.
No, it's pottery.
Yes.
Changed my
Pottery?
mind. Thank you.
Are
Oh my
y'all
God,
doing
okay.
the ghost?
are we ghosting? Well, no, actually, do you think it'd be fun if like, because I think also like Rodasi, I feel like maybe isn't artistically inclined. Like I think she is also like we're both just like, why are we so fucking
We're
bad?
both terrible at it.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
It like
Yes.
pans into some like perfect pottery, but then it pans out and it's just like some random kid, and then both of
Yeah.
yours are all like messed
A
up.
pair of hands that look like they could be either Flois or
Yeah.
Rodasi's, and it's like
Right.
generic kid number 26.
Yeah, it's just some
Yeah.
super regular kid.
We
Or
go over
non-super.
to Flois because she has like I think like 3 like really big thick fingers. Like she is a large person, you know, and
Yeah.
Big,
so
big cow lady.
it's just hard for her to manipulate the fine. Like she's like they're like, oh, just put your fingers on it. She's like it's like trying to, you know, just not working out. Her fur is getting all like gross with the clay.
Oh no, you're furry.
Yeah.
So you have furry fingers.
Oh, so
that's
it's
awful.
And you're
just
like wearing gloves, and they're like, you're trying putting on some gloves, and it's like
oh,
awful. Everything about this sucks.
yeah. So I'm having a bad time, and you can tell that she is. I based on the Gladiator playbook, I can either be in legendary or worthless mode, and I currently feel worthless because I was defeated in honorable dodgeball combat. So that is how I'm doing right now. I mechanically feel terrible,
Oh no.
even if I haven't marked any conditions.
I think Rodasi is. We're sitting next to each other because we're buds, and Rodasi is also like try. It's like, oh, come on, Floss. You know, like you just gotta like you just gotta work with the clay. You know, like feel it in your fingers and don't fight it. Just befriend it and don't fight it. Stop fighting me, and then it just crushes. Like it's just like I'm like giving you advice that is just not working.
You're not
She's
following
horrible
it
at taking
either.
it, yeah.
And I kind
Stop
of give
fighting
like
me is so good.
I give like a kind of a dark chuckle as I see yours come apart too, and I say, "Listen, fighting is what we're good at, though, right? Like,
Very good.
Yes.
So good.
Yeah. Oh my god, yeah. Rodasi is like, yeah. This is delicate work, right? Like we got people who deal with delicate situations, and we have people who deal with tough situations, and we're you don't get a little scalpel to deal with the job of a wrecking ball.
yeah, exactly." And then I realized that the last time I was in a fight in the dodgeball, I just lost it, and I'm like kind of deflate again, and I'm like, I can't even win these stupid Earth fight games. I don't even. It's just so annoying, and I like stomp my hoof, and it like rattles some of the pottery.
You see somebody in the background is like, oh no.
Yeah, as it's falling over. And I think I'm gonna share a vulnerability because I just say like
Yeah.
I don't understand all of the rules and the customs. There's just so many things on this planet to absorb. How am I supposed to learn all of them? If you had to play my games, you wouldn't know the rules. I just
Oh no.
Yeah, we share a vulnerability while you're worthless.
Yeah, I have to tell you my biggest emotional problem and ask if you'll help me directly fight my way out of it. I don't know how to directly
the
fight my way out of like culture shock, I guess. Yeah, I think my greatest emotional problem is like
Yeah.
not knowing enough about Earth.
Let's
So
figure that out.
yeah.
I love it.
You live here. Can you just show me how to figure this stuff out?
Yeah. Oh, Flawless. Yeah, of course. I like put a hand on your back. I'm like, oh yeah. And you know what? Just to set the record straight, a lot of like Earth customs and rules are like specifically designed to box people in and make you feel like kind of worthless when the rules don't work with you. It's a whole thing. We have a societal issue. So
Well,
like
that sounds horrible.
it is, and we can, and we'll like, you know what? Yeah. Okay, so. What are you good at? Like, what do you wanna like? What, you know, where do you want to start? Like,
I want to learn all the. I want to get good at every sport,
Oh, I feel like
and then
that's
no one will best me on the field of honor. Yes, I'll learn all Earth sports, and I'll be the best at all of them, and then I will never know defeat or shame again. And she like stands up.
Just yells that out
Everybody
loud
else is like, what?
Yeah.
in this quiet class.
You, my friend, you must lead me on this journey because I don't know how to do any of it. And I like hold out a hand to like pull you up too.
Oh my god, I think Rodasi. Oh, okay. Because Rodasi.
You don't have to say yes. You can also say no.
Oh no, but I don't want to. Like, I don't want to say no because it feels really
Yeah?
good. I also love the idea that like Rodasi is like, this is a little cringe.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No.
Like,
I mean, it is.
it is. That's why I love it. I'm like trying to think
Blob
about like
of clay like
like a-
drips off her finger.
yeah.
This
and,
is
like,
gonna be a gross handshake. You really have to accept it. If you're
Rodasi's
going to.
like kind of a shitty teenager, right? She's like a
Mhm.
popular girl.
Mhm.
And
She's
it's
like,
it's like, yeah.
Yeah,
I
people are
think,
looking.
oh my god, what can I kind of do? I kind of want to be like, yeah, okay, just get down. Like I like grab your hand and I like pull you down.
Nope, I don't get pulled
You
down.
don't get pulled down.
No.
Yeah, I'm like, come on,
Because you're so
come
strong.
on. I love that so much.
Are you ashamed to stand with me?
No, of course not. Screw it. All right, okay. And like kind of gets up.
Yeah.
I think Rodasi is like, can I point at somebody? Can I say that we have like the captain of the football team in here or some shit like that?
Yeah, Richard Brick.
Richard.
Captain of the football team.
God damn it. Hey, Rick. He goes by Rick.
Yeah.
You got room for somebody on the team? Tryouts? You got anything? We're trying to. I want to, you know.
I'm on a quest to learn every Earth sport.
Oh, well, I mean, our football, Jesus Christ.
What are you looking at? Do you need
Our
help?
fullback, yeah, he was in this.
Our-
His legs all busted up after the pileup on the PCH like 2 weeks ago. We could use another one of those, but I mean,
This is excellent. My back is exceptionally full. Look, and she turns around and like flexes, and her shirt like rips a little
Oh
bit.
my god. Rodasi's like, God, Floss, you can't do that.
It's okay. I have extra shirts in my locker.
Oh my
I
god.
thought you meant like underneath.
Just another one.
No, extra shirts I'm currently wearing.
You get to the panel where you're like, my back is exceptionally full. And so, like, some reader in the comic shop going over this, it's like, I'll say it.
Yeah. This was
Okay.
drawn for somebody.
So you have helped me to directly fight my way out of not knowing about sports.
I love
So
this.
you take influence over me, and I will become legendary again.
Oh,
Yeah.
good. I think because I like this. I think like Rodasi is like, yeah, okay, so I'm not much of a sports player. It'd be unfair, right? So okay, here's this. Yeah, we got Rick over there. We'll try you out for football. You feel like Rodasi kind of looks at you and is like, football feels about right for you. But also, what do you think about water sports? Are you like into that?
Yes, obviously. I don't care what the sport. To the library. We must find a book of all sports. Riding out of the classroom.
Oh my god. Lucy like looks over to the teacher and is like, hey, my stomach hurts. I'm gonna go to the nurse's office, and then just kind of leaves.
Yay.
Mr. Fox, the teacher, is like, yeah, like this white dude with like a widow's peak, wearing like a floral button down and a vest.
It's just a guy. Like,
Yeah, and
not
like
powered,
he's sort of
not
like,
a-
you know what? Let me walk you over. And like sort of washes his hands and like puts on a ring, and like we get this weird like really close up like panel of this affectation this teacher has where he rolls the ring across his fingers before putting it on.
Oh.
Oh.
Okie dokie.
That feels
Uh-huh.
weird. I
Walks
don't know
you-
why.
Yeah, nobody knows why.
Mm.
When you get like full quarter panel action like that never is going to be a callback later.
Doesn't
you
mean
know.
anything.
Never.
Who's gun? Check off who?
It's the-
That's what I should have been a teacher. Fuck.
That should have been.
Well, his name is Anton Fox.
And Mr. Fox is like walking yell down the hallway to the nurse's office like, well, I
feel like Rodasi also is like, no, you know, I can go, and it's like, I feel like maybe like there was like a back and forth. So I think like in this panel, like Rodasi is like awkwardly like, we're trying to get to the library, kind of.
yeah, well, let's have you try and provoke some.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to be like, no, we're good. Like, we can totally go by ourselves. Like, it's fine. I know how to get to the nurse's office. I'm just taking, you know, Flo is here, exchange student, doesn't know the place that well. Has only been here for like a few months. You know, school year just started. We got it. You can leave us alone.
I'm a
No,
top
actually, I don't
student.
think the move is appropriate. Yeah, you just talk about it.
Yeah.
You go. But like you see that he like there's something on his face that's like really wanted to like talk to y'all more, like have a minute. But then he's like, oh, you know what? Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
And then we get like as you're walking out, like this little speech bubble that follows you out the room. Like his traps were just so, God, I wish. Just, her traps.
She has traps for days.
Yeah. So you end up in the library looking up for. You're in the sports section.
We're in the sports section. We got the encyclopedia open. I'm walking you through stuff. I say like, so fun fact about sports is that they're all kind of the same.
Good. This is who you want.
I don't know what
to
it
tell
is.
you about
It just-
sports.
Just kick me in the shins.
Oh,
I'm like
Goodness.
deciding now that I feel like Rodasi is kind of like, oh, you play sports ball kind of person.
yeah.
Oh yeah, nice.
Just flipping through all the sports. Look, see, they're all. You can
They're
see
all
they're
the same.
very
This one-
similar.
Curling,
Also-
it's basically the same.
It's
Most of them
basically the
involve a
same.
ball.
Yeah.
A lot of them involve a ball. Usually they involve a ball, and you can only handle it with a certain appendage. So,
Oh, like hornball.
like hornball?
Yeah. You don't have hornball?
No, I don't have. Not all of us have horns, Flos.
No, that's your problem.
I guess.
They make peripherals.
It is the thing.
It is.
Gonna be terrible at hornball.
So this
See?
is like, what
I
would I do about that?
Yeah, I like to. I like to think. Yeah, like Rodasi is like, you see, like kind of slaps you on the chest, like, see, it's a mutual confusion between cultures, right? I'd be bad at hornball. You don't know what water polo is.
Well, I
It's
do
like-
now.
I guess you do now. Yeah. Does that sound interesting to you?
I like this part. It says some water polo people are taken out of the sport for illegally hiding blades in their outfits. Yes, this is a warrior sport.
Wait, hold on, buddy. Hey. I thought you want to honorably play these sports. We don't allow weapons in this kind of in these arenas.
I don't need weapons, but it makes me feel better knowing that the humans may have some advantage
body
to
is a
match
weapon.
my paragon of skill.
I feel like is this a good time for me to talk to you about like steroids and sports?
I don't know what that is.
And on
so
that
yes.
note, we're gonna go to our break.
Is that what you say?
The
That's like
page
verbatim.
suddenly turns over. It's a full page ad for another series in the ANH line. And with that, we're going to be taking a quick break. We'll be back in about 10-15 minutes, y'all. Hello, welcome back. And in this first panel, we get a picture. It's all pictures in comics. We get a panel
No pictures.
of a drawing done with
We get
pencil
1,000
and ink,
words
and
of-
sometimes there's color. Sometimes there's words.
We understand the medium of comics. Yeah.
Jesus
Oh,
Christ.
good. Just has to be really
Have
hard.
you all
otherwise.
heard of comics, kids?
Y'all know what a doodle is?
Well, in the canon, there's only 3 comics, and they're known as the triple comic.
Ah.
Jesus Christ.
I was trying
Oh
to find
my
a joke
God.
for that, so thank you.
ANH only has 3 comic series at any given time.
Really swinging for the fences today.
Jesus
Wait, is it a
Christ.
comic or a graphic novel?
Oh god, it's a
Okay.
trade and a craft.
Jesus Christ.
So over we get a picture of Manny walking down the hallway and by himself, and over the PA we get an announcement that says, "Don't forget to vote in the poll for our new school mascot." And then we get a couple Manny in the background, or a couple posters. Vid, what's one poster of a proposed mascot?
It is a centipede.
Yep. These are
Chavez
absolutely
High
student-submitted
centipedes.
ideas.
Yeah.
The Caesar Chavez fundamental centipedes is one where, and on this poster, the centipede is the C of Caesar Chavez.
Yes.
Some kid thought they were super clever.
Rue, what's another proposed mascot?
I was gonna say that it's a Tanvi one, and it's like some rude like drawing, and she's like, yeah, just like that is like it's like getting ripped off by like a janitor or something.
Oh.
Middle fingers.
What if
Yeah.
it's you tarnished someone else's design?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
So it's
yeah.
like the Chavez Cougars, and so like it's a bunch of posters with wildcats, but then someone's like plastered up a picture of like a woman in a horrible like cheetah print leggings
Swear to God, dude.
with a star.
Just like a moment of like Tanvi like this is good. This is like great. She's like, this is a prank, but this is really clever. She
Yeah,
says
they
to no
actually-
one.
And she's
a
in
big-
the like jumping cat position too for some reason.
You put like a giant big glass of white wine in there. Oh my God.
It's turning into some kind of Facebook meme.
So Cougars is one of them. We got, but everybody's voting for the one that's about.
Alex, what's our third student submission?
There has
For
to be a
newest
really
mascot.
boring one, so I think it's like the Chavez High, like sunsets.
Oh, okay, yeah.
That
But I
one's
al-
like, there's the most posters of this one because it's the most
'Cause, like, the
politically
school is
neutral.
Yeah.
Right.
Teachers
It's like
are,
this is clearly the
putting it
one the
up.
teachers want you to take.
Admin
Yeah.
admin printed way more of these posters than any other.
They made the mistake of saying like, so we're put like the school, the administration is putting up the sunsets, but we're opening up 2 more slots to the kids, and it's
Yeah.
like bad idea.
So
All the
what's the
kids are
last
like-
submission idea for the new school mascot?
I think it's like a little out of left field, but also like kind of cool, like the Titans, but like giant mecha is the logo.
Yeah.
So it looks like the Mega's XLR robot, you know, like
Yeah.
sharp angles, giant shoulders.
That rules.
Oh my fucking God. Again, impractical design.
The mascot would be so expensive.
Yeah.
Manny, you're walking down the hallway, and I think school's gotten out. And you see Rodasi and Fliodhas. They're walking out of the library. I think they're still like having their own discussion with each other. And
I just have an armload of books
Yeah.
that are all like badminton.
I'm just
second edition.
yeah. Nobody really understands like where croquet came from. I'm gonna say I don't get it. I think it was invented by Alice in Wonderland. Like it's just like this tiny little speech bubble.
How many hammers am I allowed to use at once?
I think one, but I feel like that could be a negotiable too.
Okay, I'm gonna look in the rules.
How do you feel about riding horses, though?
Conflicted.
Do we notice Manny, or does Manny notice us?
yeah, sure. You notice Manny and Tanvi. You're walking up. You've just received a detention slip for having destroyed the gym, and you're expected to report after school. But this is around lunchtime.
She's wearing.
Do you all sit
like, a
together
band.
during lunch? Do you hang out?
Oh.
during
Oh,
lunch?
that's a good point.
Yeah, because we're in a club together, right? We're friends. We're in the what is it? What is our club called?
They're club associations.
It's the community service club.
For the community.
Community Service Club. But it's
We
got,
don't
like,
have a
cool-
good name for it. though.
Yeah.
Like,
We're
chess
the
club, you know.
We're the CSC, and then what does that stand for? The Community Service Club?
we say CSC.
Yeah, we'll call it the CSC. I actually kind of want to say that Rodasi is juggling like school politics, not like things. So like maybe doesn't sit with y'all, but like will make an appearance. I feel again, she's a little bit of like a shitty popular kid, so she's like, yeah, I gotta
Yeah.
go hang out, but like I gotta go check out. They're like, oh, you gotta hang out with like your weird friends, and I'm like, they're not weird, but I don't kind of fight it. You know what I mean?
Oh.
Yeah,
Like cuts to
like,
us being super weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I'll like stand up for y'all, but I mean the scene in the pottery class is kind of a good for it. It's like we're friends. I'll sit with you. We'll hang out if like we're in there, but I'm also like, please.
Oh, it's the panel is they're
My
not
social capital.
weird, and then like
Yeah.
the panel pans over behind.
Us being
And
like
it's
bonkers weird.
Fliodhas and Manny having like an eating contest.
Yes.
Just stacks of Red Baron pizzas.
Tanvi's like using little rocks to like help propel like more of them into your mouth.
What?
Amazing.
She's like, I'm not eating like a bazillion pizzas, but I will help you too.
That's so good.
You like put money on this.
Oh yeah, she's put on like a
better
like
visor.
Like a bookie.
She's trying to like get people that
You
are
straight up
passing
running
by.
bets.
Yeah, I
English
think
school
she's
or
like
something,
trying
yeah.
to get people to do it. Most people are just really weirded out by her. And they're like,
my
or like
God.
scared.
All
Like,
the
it's
other
amazing.
degenerate punk kids, they come and they'll fucking place bets.
Yeah.
And some of the jocks, because they're competitive too.
Yeah. I could also see them
Going
just being
3-1
like,
odds.
yeah. So she's just like on the side.
Is there a role for win an
Do
eating
you want to make
contest?
a roll to see who
Mm.
can
No, I want to
I
see
feel
who's
like
gonna
you win probably. 'cause,
I want to
like,
provoke you to lose.
Yeah. Oh, it might feel like you. What happens to the extra mass you eat when you get smaller? I feel
See,
like
that's
it's
the thing. Like, Manny has like a wild metabolism.
Oh,
So,
okay.
like he needs to eat. I think he's like Kamala Khan, where like he needs to be eating a
Yeah.
lot.
Oh, that's
Ooh.
cool.
But like
Oh.
also he gets sick a lot because his
Oh, no.
body's like constantly shifting.
Yeah.
So I
Oh,
think it's like, and he's trying not to like he's got his jaw like distended like a snake almost. It's like,
Yeah, this is like horror
also because it's a
shit.
comic book and you can do that.
Yeah.
He's like
Right,
shoveling milk or whatever, and he was like, "Oh no, it's not interacting with the stuff that I in a good way."
5 years from now, in Manny's like 8th series, we'll discover this is actually a latent power that he just hadn't been able like, together. And it'll make him
He
just
had a
like
black hole
really
in his
rocket
stomach.
on the scale.
I thought you were gonna say we discover he's lactose intolerant. the whole
That's what I was gonna say. It's just
The secret.
That's what you were gonna
Some
say.
executive is like, we need more diversity and representation in these comics, and some writer's like, I got you.
You nailed it.
Next
See, the thing
issue,
about
he's
lactose
lactose
intolerant people is that they don't
intolerant.
care.
It's a
It's
very
like
special
lactose
issue.
intolerance.
Lactose intolerance is technically a mutation in the human body, also.
That's what the editor's note says on the
We are all mutants in some way.
Finds out he's a
Yeah.
super taster for cilantro as well.
Everything tastes like soap.
I can't enjoy it.
So Rodasi comes over and Manny's like queasily recovering, and he looks up like, "Oh, Her Highness deigns to grace us with her presence."
I love that. That's
And
what I
rolls
want.
his
That's
little
the
eyes.
shit. I love it. Rodasi's like, "Hey, Manny, how you don't look so good." Like,
I'm fine.
just like I love just the panel of you absolutely destroying the food and stuff like
Yeah, he's like tiny. His cheeks are bulging.
that.
His purple fur looks a little green. He's like,
Oh,
I'm
no.
fine.
Of course he doesn't look good. He just lost to me. You wouldn't look so good if you just lost an eating contest to me. I can go again. Who wants some? She like stands up.
Oh my god, that's so good. I'm like,
Grandstanding.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know. This 100% is like, it's like, why would you go up against a food eating contest, with somebody who has 3 stomachs? Man,
I don't even need to eat this. I could eat grass and be fine.
this is a losing battle. God, I like turn over to Tanvi and I'm just like, listen, are you running bets again?
She's been like trying to get like a bet going for like who thinks Manny will throw up. Like,
thinks Manny?
yeah, like bets
You have
on
a
whether.
problem, my friend. Oh no!
But in response to what you're saying of like, why would you get into this competition? She turns around and she's like, it's for the thrill of it, Rodasi. You will never understand.
It's for the thrill of
To
it.
feel alive.
Yes. Manny may have lost the competition, but he still participated. He still showed his pride. And I like offer you a fist bump.
Aw.
He like weakly taps it with like the edge of his knuckles.
Yeah.
He's like,
Okay.
hell yeah, Pap. Oh no. Just a little irk.
Oh. It's like the side to side, like your head whips back, so it's like, yeah.
Right.
You might need to chew some of that cud. Yeah. That's
Oh my god.
you gotta work on that one some more.
Oh, you are muted, Kevin.
Is Kevin-
He's been trying to talk this whole time. No, you don't get to run the game. It's just us talking about food.
You in my house now, boy.
I've muted you. You'll never speak again.
Were you trying to say something? Kevin?
Nah, that's fine.
Okay.
Really, see you as this is going on. You see, like, sort of like you looking over the shoulders of your friends, of your club members, of your professional associates, and you see on like the television in the corner of the cafeteria that it's the news that's running, and you see a news report of the of your dad. Your dad, and standing next to this young man, like congratulating him. This young man, sort of East Asian looking, sort of wears really thick, fashionable glasses, has a couple piercings, and like a nearly shaved head, and sort of the byline of the news report says. Junichul is sort of celebrated by the city for averting another disaster, and the report goes into like a sort of one-on-one interview with the reporter and your dad, and your dad's really hyping up this kid. What's like your face like as we cut back to your face as you see this report?
It's
You
like,
know June. You know Ejul.
oh yeah, we've had many a dinner together.
Yeah.
It's just like it's like very much like disgust, like very annoyed. Who even puts on the news in a high school cafeteria? Who put
That's
this?
how we learn when there's supervillain attacks. Obviously, they conveniently come up.
That's right. Every time you turn on the news, it's conveniently the plot. Come on, let's turn it off. Let's change the channel. You know what I mean? Like, I'm very annoyed. I'm like, I think Rodasi is both trying to like look away. Like it's not like it's like trying to make sure people don't like notice, but is also like let's turn off the TV, everybody. You know what I mean? Like let's change the channel. Isn't there something else on?
I
kind of, yeah.
Go ahead. You wanna?
I kind of wanted to like try and like she like flicks a coin or something at it, but like with super strength. You know what I mean? And it's just like blink and like tries to like just change the channel and break the TV or some shit like that.
Probably break the TV.
Yeah.
Try to bounce a penny off of it, and it like the TV
Just
goes
like
clunk,
starts.
just a
It
little
shatters.
spew.
Yeah.
I think you break the TV, but like, and inadvertently break the TV, the volume pumps up, so we get like this one last speech bubble of your dad saying, like, really, we're so happy to have found June after some unfortunate events in the family that we, once again, we cannot more deeply apologize to the citizens of Sunset City for. And then the editor's note says, please see, if you remember issue 1 of Varsity Hues, the destruction of the significant monument in the park by Rodasi. This is what the patriarch of the Vioma family is referring to.
I gotta explain a little bit better for the viewers is that Rodasi comes from the orbital line, right? Orbital being a very significant superhero in the city is generation.
The orbital legacy.
The legacy, right? Thus the legacy playbook. She was supposed to go to a fancy school and learn to become a hero, but instead got into some real bad trouble with like publicity issues, basically, and they pushed her to come to this school instead. Like she was denied entry to the prestigious public school, to the prestigious private school, and had to like come here. And her family is like been spinning this kind of whole web of like, no, like, you know, we're bringing somebody new, and like here's like you know, we're sponsoring, it's a switching program, it's all fine. Kind of thing. That's all this issue 1 nonsense. She's very unhappy about this.
Yeah. Becky Kelsey yells like, I was watching that. What the hell? Fucking
Becky Kelsey, you sit back down. Becky Kelsey, nobody cares. I think just yells at her.
Yeah. With your little, like Usagi Sailor Moon, like hands at your sides.
She's the Roger of our show.
Becky Kelsey sits back down in the background, like drawn really loosely, just like basically an outline, like being comforted by her friends.
We're gonna make.
She didn't mean it. It's
just the tiniest word bubble that, like, if you bought the digital version of the comic, you can't read it in the print. You have to buy the digital, and if you zoom way in, she says like that was like my dad left me that car before he left. And I just.
Oh my god!
It's been such a week. And...
Oh no!
Holy shit!
I can't believe you're making us feel bad for Becky Kelsey.
How dare you? For Becky Kelsey.
I think Flois kind of gives you a disapproving look, Rodasi, and just says like, you can't keep running away from this forever. If you want your family to value you over this other child, then you must simply show them your strength, show them your power, your worthiness.
What? Beat you in a food eating contest?
It was a good start. I'm undefeated.
Yeah, like that's gonna make the news.
Well, maybe catch a villain, save a bridge from falling, do some hero stuff.
When you say catch a villain, I like without looking up is like not me.
No.
Instinctual.
Yeah, instinctually, not me. Yeah. Well, we have community service after school anyway, so I'll see you guys then.
As you're saying that, you just like there's a text bubble. It's just like a sigh, and then like a blue transparent tentacle with like these pink like arteries and veins and nerves comes into frame and holds out a little pink slip. It's like you can't. Rodasi, you should know better. Like you're getting detention for breaking the TV.
What?
But Mr. Koa, you're the teacher advisor for the community service club.
Wait, what's his name? What's his? I forgot his real name.
Mr. Koa?
Koa, right. Mr. Koa, what are you? That wasn't me. I mean, right, guys? Like that was it.
No, that was definitely
Becky
you.
Kelsey yells, "It was half."
Manny
y'all
is
just-
recovered
Yeah.
and is like cooling down with more snacks. It's like shoving a handful of like Doritos in his face. Just send a bill to the Viomas. They'll pay for it anyway, like they always do.
Manny,
Is
it's
it
not.
is it Cooler Ranch or Nacho Cheesier?
Limon.
Cool.
Oh,
Oh, okay.
very good.
with the tapatio and the
They like pour it.
Manny, it's not. It's about the principle of it. We can't have students breaking school property. It's just as much as I want to sit in my car again while you pick up trash off the side of the freeway and finish Battle Network 6. I can't all of these people died.
They're cool,
Right.
right? Like, okay.
I'm saying the family will take care of it.
Yes, the family will be notified that Rodasi has detention.
No, you don't need to tell him. I like grab the slip and I go like, wow, you don't need to tell him. No, that's just between us. You know, I'll go to detention. You can just keep it quiet. It's fine.
Popular girls in trouble.
And I like stick a finger in his chest. I'm like, you stop it.
Ooh.
I feel like
Yeah,
when
just
you're
poking the-
when you're like, oh, we'll keep it between us. I like Tanvi who has like put the detention thing like a badge of honor.
honor. Yeah.
Like rips
Somebody
it off.
collects detention.
Yeah, you've got a
badges throughout the
collection.
day.
Pulls it off and she's like, no, you got to get your parents' signature on it. Like all the other ones do have her foster mom's signature, and she's like, they got to sign it, and you can't pretend to do it. And she like points at a couple, and she's like, I tried, it doesn't work. They know.
They know.
And I have
That's why
really
a
good
lie
penmanship.
detector is the principal of the school. You know? It's-
The principal's superpower's lie detection.
Amazing.
That's really
So
good.
perfect. Tanvi says really annoying. It's
Yeah.
so perfect for a principal.
Rodasi, very.
Lois, Manny, would you also like to try for detention today? Mr. Koa says. Since apparently
A
there's not going to be any
challenge.
club activity today.
Well, I don't know. Tanvi almost killed Mr. Wilson earlier. You should write her up for that.
She
I'm-
like
I'm-
holds it up and she's like, got it.
Yeah, they're kind of like parking tickets where, like, if you get one, you can't get another. When you grown up, like, if you want to hang on to your parking tickets and just leave them on the windshield, like, that's a really good tip for, like, free parking.
I've
But
heard that.
I didn't say that, actually. No, I didn't. No.
I will not be attending detention this evening. I have a quest to learn every Earth sport.
Every sport.
I'm up to badminton.
Just like
Alphabetically?
No, am I supposed to do it alphabetically?
Oh, I just assumed.
That was the first book I picked up. I'm still on the first one. It's only been like 10 minutes.
I feel like Rick, like you see Rick in the background, a little speech bubble that goes, "Floss, you're tryouts."
Aw. I love this little friendship forming between.
I'm gonna
Floss and
force a positive football team relationship if it's gonna kill me.
Yay! That's
I feel
nice.
like it works. Rick seemed cool, and the others seemed himbo-ish.
Oh, also, I have football tryouts, apparently.
Oh,
Heard of
well.
rivals to lovers. Now get ready for strangers to teammates.
Flois, good luck with the pigskin and attaboy.
I don't need luck. I'm
Girl.
the best there
Sorry.
is.
The best there is.
Oh, the best there is, yeah. Fuck yeah. You say like holding up your medallion of milk cartons or something like
Oh my god, it's
Carcasses
gotta
of
be
milk
that.
bags like pierced on a
Ew.
fucking string.
Yeah, the
War
little
trophies.
hood, tiny hood cartons. They've
Yeah.
just been punctured together.
Yeah. They're all chocolate milks.
Aw.
They're all chocolate.
Chucky milk.
It's the best.
Oh my god. Is it possible for me to take a condition without having to roll? Can I say I took a condition, or do I need to?
Yeah, you can just have one.
Yeah, you can.
Because I
I don't see any reason why
being
you
public,
can't
being publicly shamed makes me feel insecure about myself, and I feel like I can. That is a condition that I can check. So I was thinking maybe, well, it
Yeah.
would be apt to check it.
I'm
Is
not
that
gonna
really
stop
good?
you.
All right.
It'll cost me nothing.
Yeah, I guess so. I just wasn't sure. if,
Kevin
like,
can
you
even
know,
do
we
that
should-
as a GM.
Yeah.
Kevin could just say, yeah. Cool. Yeah, Rosie's like, God damn it.
Well, all right. Good luck at tryouts, Floss. Have fun in detention, you two, and Manny, you stay out of trouble, okay?
Trouble? Me?
Yeah, don't get shoved into any more lockers, man.
He looks incredulous, and then there's an extreme close up of like Manny doing the like finger guns and his
Oh my
eyes
God.
sparkling. He's like, you gotta be kidding me.
I think we take that panel of
Patty's just
Manny
like,
doing the
"What
finger
is
guns, and
happening?"
then we like intercut with Manny in the center of the panel, like sort of same scale, but like in a dark alley and like kind of bruised up.
Oh no!
Manny's been a little bit roughed up, and he's like got some garbage on him, and like apparently somebody's thrown like hair dye on his fur, and Manny's just getting harassed by Vid. What's the name of a school bully?
What's the name of the school bully? Logan.
Ooh, good one.
Logan Thrasher is a little on the nose.
You know, he really insists people call him Thrasher. Like that's a self-appointed
Yeah.
nickname.
Thrasher's his street name.
Yeah.
Looks suspicious, drawn suspiciously like Biff from Back to the Future.
Yeah.
If anybody asked the artist, that's not the reference they used for this art in this character, but you know,
Not at all.
no.
But like, there's a Twitter thread of overlays of like, not like calling out tracing, but like clear influence.
Right. What, you think you're hot shit, Moreno? Just because, like, what, now you're some sort of freak and you can get big and fly? You always been a freak, now you just look like one.
Said, shut up. It's like the quivering little speech bubble to show that he's like murmuring it. And he's like, he's not making eye contact with anyone. He's just like on the ground with his hands kind of like trying to support himself.
What was that? You gotta speak up. None of us have as big ears as you.
Ooh.
Damn.
And it like cuts, like it's a close-up panel. His hair is like matted down over his eyes. His hood is up,
Mhm.
There's a trickle coming down from one eye that's mixed with like a little bit of blood coming from one of his busted lips, from his like lower lip, as it's like falling off of his chin, and it's like the tiniest speech bubble that just says "shut," period, up, period.
And I think like sort of we get a panel of you like sort of small and on the ground, and them like Thrasher, Logan, Thrasher, sort of standing over you like a pretty like imposing force, like pretty built kid, and a couple other kids that like sort of are part of the gang but don't actually have names or characters. They'll probably be developed in their own side series later, redeemed and some shit. And it like intercuts in like just like a single frame of like your first issue of Manny's like origin story of Manny in a cave, where it ended up Manny getting these powers, and when this intercut, Manny is still sort of a normal human kid.
Yeah, the panel is like him surrounded by the other kids in the alley, and then cut back to a couple years ago, smaller Manny with the smaller versions of these same kids, who are outside of a cave on like a school trip, and they're like yelling at him like, "Yeah, you're too chicken to go in, huh? We knew you weren't. You weren't worth it. You're just a baby. You're gonna go back and cry to your mama. It's not even your real mom either. Pathetic." And Manny like finally like yells like, I'll prove it. I'll prove I'm not scared." And he walks into this cave. It's dark. There's a couple panels of him like looking around, like calling out like "hello," echo, 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 echo. And then whoa, he slips and slides down like a rock slide, falls face first in a panel in like surrounded by like this green goo. The panel goes wide to show that he's surrounded by a bunch of like leaking industrial barrels. And he looks up and he's like, what is where am I, like covered in goo. And as he says things, this swarm of tiny bats, like tons of little red eyes, just whoosh, fly around him and like go past him and envelop him. So he's like surrounded by goo and he's being like subsumed by the bats as they like swarm around his body, and he's just like screaming as we see his physical form is changing into this like purplish furry form as he gets swarmed by the bats. And that like jump cuts back to the moment of like he's like reaching one little hand that now is covered in purple fur through the swarm of bats like up to the sky, and it's his same hand just like reaching up, but not so much to like try and grab onto something as it is to say like stop, like it's a hand up back in the modern moment.
Right. And like sort of as you're saying stop, like very quietly, we get like a big text panel interjecting. It says, "What is bullying still cool? Is that what we think these days?" And like we cut to like the mouth of this alley, or a young girl wearing like a blazer, like sort of with the sleeves rolled up and like a white top, and like sort of dressed like kind of preppy punk. Like there's like some pins and some patches on there. It's not like a uniform. This is just like an outfit, clearly.
2008 Avril Lavigne.
Exactly. Yeah. She's like,
Transition.
she's got like a bag of fast food in one hand. It's like, what the hell are y'all doing? Like, leave him alone. And then there's like this banter back and forth between the bullies and this girl. And this clearly they're not gonna back down. They're gonna start bullying her. At some point, she's pulled out a burrito and like she squeezes the burrito, and like in very cartoon comic fashion, like all of the bean and cheese has squirted onto Logan's face, She reaches up, pulls his shirt over his head, like runs around him, grabs Manny's hand, and runs with Manny. And we get like a page of a couple panels of them running through the city, like with this orange and purple hue, like dodging, like sort of having like those like teen comedy, like running away antics, like running through a mall and like somebody trips and like
Pushing
they go
a
help
thing
that lady
over.
that trips. And eventually, like you end up like at a park, and like you're sitting on the bench and like you're both like sort of huffing as you're tired, and like she just starts laughing. This girl.
Manny like is like catching his breath. He finally like wipes some gunk off his nose, the blood. And he looks like, why are you laughing?
You know, I don't know. It's just, I just felt like laughing. You know, you don't ever just feel like laughing sometimes.
Not a lot. He looks down at the ground.
That's fine too. You know. Here, let me. And she like reaches, like, may I? So like kind of clean you up a little bit.
He like gets really stiff, like clearly tenses up, and then like he's not used to any kind of physical intimacy or affection at all. And then he's kind of softens for a second. You ruined my one good hoodie.
I kind of like it. You know? A clean hoodie is like, there's no character to it. It's like she's like kind of picking off like a banana peel, and like she kind of like puts a hand on your shoulder, and like we get this like effect of a power happening, and Manny like sort of physically like looks a lot calmer, and like isn't like happy, but like comes to a more neutral state at least.
Whoa. What did you do?
Oh, we just helped you out a little bit there. We just helped calm you down. If that's all right.
We.
Oh yeah, it's a whole thing. I'm Lila, by the way.
Manny.
Nice to meet you, Manny. When we
Why'd
cut
you
over,
help me?
I think we'll cut back to the scene.
Yeah,
But like
yeah.
we cut over to a panel of Tanvi in detention, sort of sitting next to Rodasi. Y'all are in detention with Mr. Wilson with Bulwark, getting a lecture on the reason why he really wanted everybody to go all out during this game of dodgeball, and like why he really respects that you attacked him, but the fact that you did it in such a way that destroyed the environment was bad for policy reasons, and he's obligated to say that it was bad. And then you get Rodasi, you get a lecture for like kind of getting in the way of other powered people and sort of like not encouraging or undermining the lesson by not encouraging them to use their powers.
Oh my god.
And like
This is like, this isn't even like there's a thought bubble of all like, this isn't even why I'm here.
No, yeah. Mr. Wilson is like kind of giving this lecture and like not really paying attention if you're paying attention. So like y'all can have a conversation at this point.
Oh, that's so good.
It just like pulls away and it's just like a block of text that is
Oh,
yeah.
them.
Rue, I think this can be cute. It's like if we're like passing notes between each other, like not necessarily like, you know,
Yeah.
conspicuously, but I like just, we have a visual medium, right? Like we have like a comic medium, so it's like maybe we're just kind of scrawling between each other. So it feels very
Yeah.
nice,
Oh, I love the idea of there being like just like little clips of our notes.
of our notes. And,
Yeah,
like,
some
you know,
text
we
boxes, it's just the notes drawn out.
yeah, and it's like you see the scribbles of us like writing over each other's words, and we'll do this. I'm like, so it's like, oh my god, this is so boring. You do this like every other day.
She like responds back, yeah, but sometimes it's other teachers, and I'll like stack up all the chairs and then knock them all over. Like she like puts down like a list of different things that she does, and it has like little moments interspersed where she's like one where she just like the teacher's asleep, so she's just like causing chaos in the classroom. She's like tossing desks to someone outside who like throws it back.
Oh my god. It's like, oh, so I got the bad luck, or like I was unlucky today with goddamn bulwark. Oh, well, you know, like what's like what's like a nickname we give bulwark? I feel like that's like a good man.
Who would be
There's
good?
probably some like clever.
Yeah, I'm like trying to think of what would it would be. I feel like you would write bulwark and then twerk.
I don't know.
That seems like something a high schooler would come up with.
Yeah.
It seems like the amount of clever.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Whether that's
not
good or
that
bad.
far. It's like
Oh, so
you
but
write
I like-
bulwark and then I write
then you-
twerk and then I draw like a butt on the side.
yeah, you modify it when you pass the note back. That's really cute.
I think I just respond with like, yeah, this is the unlucky one, and we get like another intercut where she's like stuck in a really like either ones where she's just kind of being like lectured, and like there's a bunch of like words like, you know, you're really on thin ice here. You're a former villain, and we like let you get into this school. And then there are other ones where she's like writing out like standards or something, where she's just like, I don't know if it's even like, I will not give in to my darker side or something like that, like something really like shitty.
Wow.
Right. Like some stream of consciousness stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then she's just like, yeah, this is unlucky. And that's all she like sends back to you.
I feel like Rodasi's gonna send back like, hey, you wanna like find some trouble tonight? Question mark. You know, like hands over.
Yeah. It's like a yes or no box.
Yeah.
Check yes or no.
I can let off some steam. Is I guess kind of like, you know.
I think it like cuts to like us actually, and then she just cuts to that and be like, oh, Rodasi, what you would suggest us getting into trouble? We're in detention right now.
Did you say that like out loud, or did you write that on the? She
With
says
the like incredulously,
Yeah.
like disbelieving face.
How could
So
you
such a
suggest
good-
such a thing? And it's
I'm
still
like,
just
"Shush."
like the teacher is just going off. There's the text box like pushes back into the, and they're just like, well, I think I really respect powered people.
Really, if you're going to be the best heroes that you're going to be, if you want to be heroes, you really need to push yourselves now.
Yeah.
But I think she writes a note back. I think she like draws something. It's like a really shitty drawing. I think like if, writing wise, her penmanship is really good, which is something she said earlier, where she's like, my penmanship is great, but they still know. Like there are times where she responds back with your own handwriting.
It's very confusing, but we know the pen color is different.
Yeah.
Or something like that. Yeah.
But she like draws some like really weird like stick figure drawing back at you. I don't know if she suggests a place, so she just kind of draws like two people and then like angry faces and then just like a lot of beer cans all over the place.
Oh, that's good.
Little arrows. This is soda pop.
This is so. Yeah, we'll get some pop. Yeah, I think like I'm like cool. Boss said I should try and take down some heroes. so I think I'll. Or sorry, take down some villains.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Be a
take out
hero.
some-
Sorry.
My gosh.
The Shul
My
reference where we
bad.
really reveal
The heel
this is a
turn was
super
so
villain
fast.
comic.
Such a
Tanvi's
quick
like, hell
episode
yeah.
1, I'm a villain now. Sorry, I got be a hero and take down some villains confused for me.
The series got taken over by Mark Miller. And
Yeah. Next session we have Mark Miller jamming again now. Actually, isn't that exciting? Yeah, Fliodhas told me to invite her? Question mark.
Oh wait, invite who? I just didn't hear what you.
Fliodhas to
Oh.
hang out after.
Yeah.
Nice.
And then I think like location, she's like dealer's choice, and like points back to you.
I want to suggest that maybe Bulwark now notices that we're like passing notes or something like that. And Rodasi just fucking crumples it, like really, just like it is atomizes that shit.
Right.
You know what I mean? What are you talking about? And it just like dink, like falls on the ground.
Just crumbles it to dust.
Yeah.
see, if you really applied yourself, you could have done that without me noticing and just really.
Tanvi's really confused about
I'm just
how
so
she
disappointed.
feels.
You could be so much more. And then we cut over to Fliodhas. Fliodhas is surrounded by Brick, the head of the football team, and all these other football players, and like you're piling into this fast food restaurant together. They're all clambering around you, like being like, "You're so good! Oh my god, you're so fast! How do you?" Just like really, all this like gushing, like
Yeah.
about
And
how
she's
good you
she's
are.
just eating it up and is like, "Oh, you should see back on my home planet when I play hornball. It's even better than this." Like,
You gotta teach us hornball. We can go to like get. We could put horns on the helmets. Like we want.
yeah. I mean, they do. You can get a prosthetic horn, like if one of your real horns gets broken. So that's still in the rules. Yeah, that makes sense.
One of them's like, yeah, my dad. He knows like a guy who's out in Ontario who's got cows, and like sometimes they have to have those, and like I'm sure we can get some of those. As this is going on, Fliodhas, you notice Manny is sitting at a booth across from this young girl who's dressed very fashionably, and like they're having like this really like enthusiastic conversation with each other. And Manny you see Manny's like kind of roughed up a little bit, like has like some patches that are like dyed orange on his fur, but like is having a enjoyable conversation with a young lady.
Mm-hmm. Nice. So I think if you're facing towards me, I kind of give you the like, eyebrow, like, what's going on here?
I think he realizes he's being watched, and he looks over at her like, oh. And he like kind of gives you like a shrug, like a kind of enthusiastic shrug, like, hey.
Aw.
Nice. So I think I'll sit like I'll usher the group over to like a booth, sort of like across from your table, but where like you can interact or not as you see fit.
But you can keep like a watchful eye.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like I just ever since me and it like sort of joined, we've been together and like really just changed my life. And I used to be like kind of bullied and picked on. I just ever since I met my teacher, I just can't stand like people kind of pushing other people around, people telling other people what to do.
I just don't see how you ever could have gotten picked on at all. I mean, you just seem so put together. I mean, like, you're cool.
I mean, you've got claws and fangs. I can't see how you get picked on, like how you let it happen. Not to.
He like closes off
Yeah.
immediately. Like his body language immediately gets close. He's like, oh, I didn't mean. It's like I asked them.
Hey, I didn't. I'm sorry. I didn't mean like that. just
I think he like sees that it was a slip of the tongue.
Mhm.
He's like, sorry. I know a lot of friends, and the ones that I do have, it's complicated.
complicated how?
Well,
Friendship
like,
shouldn't be complicated. I don't think.
In the background, we see Flois like lifting up a football player on each arm.
and then he like looks over and he's trying not to show that he's looking over, being like,
Yeah.
"Oh my god." Well, one of them's kind of always showing off, and she's really cool, but she's also like kind of a lot sometimes. There's one of them's got I think a good head, but like she's so pushy. She's telling people what to do and like how to live their life, and it's like, I know you're 18, but you're not an adult. You don't know everything there is to know. Even I know that. And then my sister's. I just wish she wouldn't get so angry all the time. I like them. I do. It's just sometimes they just make me so mad. And you say you're, better now in control, but then he like starts like shifting a little bit, like while he's talking, like one of his arms, he turns it into a wing. And it's like, how am I supposed to get control of this?
Why would you want to control it if it feels natural? If it feels good. It seems like other people are telling you that it shouldn't feel good.
He like kind of cocks his head a little bit. He's like, this is not something he's used to hearing. Because it scares people. And that scares me. I don't want to scare anyone. I don't want to hurt anyone.
People can be scared no matter what. That's their problem. That's something between them and their therapist.
Do you really think that he shifts back? You think I'm not like a freak?
I mean, if I didn't have to spend $40 on dye to, and you could really do a lot with like some polish on those nails, give them look good. A really bright, like green would pop.
He's blushing. He's like pushing whatever snack is in front of him away. Like, you're just saying that.
I think
he's
trying to
sharing a
shift your
vulnerability or a weakness about like he has trouble controlling powers. He's afraid of his strength, of his abilities. So I ask Leela if she thinks that I'm losing or gaining humanity.
That's a tricky question. Talking about, she thinks that humanity is kind of overrated. She thinks like by sort of embracing that you are no longer just a normal human, that makes you like more of a person, like rather than a human.
You don't need to be normal.
Yeah,
you should embrace being who you are, which is
Yeah,
you shouldn't feel bad for being quote unquote.
that makes a lot of sense.
Mm-hmm.
So if she says losing, I mark a condition and I mark potential.
Ooh.
I feel stronger by being inhuman, but also it makes me feel a certain way. And I think he's gonna mark insecure, because he's like, well, wait, I've spent all this time trying to control myself, and you're saying I don't need to, and like and you're not, but you're also not scared of me. Nobody's not scared of me. What are you like? What's your deal? Whatever, right? Like, you were just saying that she was trying to shift my labels too.
Yeah, I think she was trying to. I think you achieved that by like she was trying to shift your freak down, or no, your freak up by like sort of being but in a good way,
Right.
and then probably shift your mundane down.
Yeah.
By like, no, you don't need to be human. You don't need to be normal.
Yeah.
Being normal is for guys in like ties and offices.
Right. Exactly. And I think he's gonna take it. Now, Manny's freak is at +3.
Right.
So I mark an additional condition.
Oh.
Okay, Manny's freaking out right now.
And I think he's gonna take hopeless.
Okay.
Because he's confused as hell.
Jeez.
Yeah.
He's like he's super insecure, and he's like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to think anymore.
Dang.
You're interested in me as a person. You're cute. You're telling me I'm okay, but this is the opposite of everything that I've heard, and like everything that like feels right to me. What am I doing here?
What are the conditions that you have marked, Simon?
Hopeless and insecure.
Hopeless and insecure.
So with that, also he's gonna be like he's clearly like feeling a lot of things and kind of like nodding along. He's like, why are you telling me all this? Like, you just came out of nowhere. People don't do that for me. He's trying to pierce her mask.
Okay.
Ooh.
Cool.
Yeah.
Like, I'm a weirdo. You didn't have to do this.
Go ahead and roll with mundane.
It's a hit. So on a 7 to 9, I get one question. What do you want me to do? Or what are you really planning, actually?
What do you really think?
You didn't have to save me if you did. You showed me a nice time, and it's great. People don't do that for me.
She doesn't have like an ulterior motive. Like she's pretty explicit. Like she wants you to like kind of embrace your powers and things. And like this sort of seems like something that she does quite a bit. It's not that she doesn't, like she's not being genuine. Like she's not like it's not like she does this for she does help a lot of people, but it's not like she's kind of putting on front to make you feel special. Like whatever you're feeling is like not like sort of she's manipulating you to feel that way. She's like, she wants you to feel like better about being a metahuman and not like sort of let yourself get bullied by normal people. Not let other people tell you what to do. And she wants more people to like feel that way.
I think that's like a little more, what do you intend to do?
Right. Yeah, planning is like more like an action.
Yeah, like what's your angle? I can take that though, because I like that answer. I think that would also help him a little bit. That's like why are you doing this for me? Like this is, are you just lying? Are you like
right? I think more directly answering what are you planning? Like she wants to be your friend.
Yeah. Okay. That's
a nefarious friendship plan.
Yeah. Like I did this because I think that you're interesting and I want to be your friend. Yeah. And so like we get like a bit of that in the dialogue. It's like, because I want to be your friend, Manny.
She like
it has to end in the name too. It's like
yeah, she says I want to be your friend, Manny, and like she reaches across the booth into your pocket and grabs your phone and like just starts putting her number into your phone.
Yeah. And he like his little green eyes go like super wide. and he looks over at, at Flotus like, what do I do?
I'm sorry. What is Manny's lock screen photo?
That's a great question. I think Manny has like the cheapest phone you can get on the plan. So
Is
he
it
hasn't
it's still like a
customized it.
smartphone? So it's still like
It's a cheapo smartphone. It's like a
Yeah.
two
Yeah, it's like a free
generations
Android.
back, like Pixel or
Right.
something.
Mhm.
so it's still the default.
It's the default screen.
Mhm.
I think because he gets in so many fights, like they crack,
Yeah.
and so they just get whatever cheapest plan it is. And he's like, "Well, I don't care about this thing if I'm just gonna break it."
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I love that. That's great.
Nice.
Or does he invest in like a modular phone that he could fix himself? Because he's kind of smart.
Ooh.
He is a tech nerd.
Yeah.
It is true. He's like a general, like
Mhm.
kind of nerdy kid.
Like one of
I
those.
think this is the one thing he doesn't mess with.
Okay.
That's like, it's important.
Mhm.
Like his app game is on point.
Yeah.
But he doesn't need it to be. He doesn't need it to. The aesthetics don't matter.
Mhm.
Yeah.
He needs he's function over form.
Perfect.
I know these kids. I know exactly what you're talking
Nice.
Has a new backup every night. Full of-
So as you're like looking over at Flois about like we see that I think we just get a close up of like one of her little like sense tendril things is sort of like pointed over your way, keeping an eye on you. And then we get a shot from her point of view, and because she's a cool alien, I think it's her senses are shown on the comic panel as sort of like almost like an impressionist painting of what's going on, like the like colors of the school jerseys are all like there, and it's just very like sort of flowy and like changing from one panel to the next. And then we see like the little speech bubble from Manny coming on, and it's also kind of like warbly because she sort of like sees things.
Yeah,
And
right.
she's
Because you have
kinda-
the like tendrils that are your hair.
Yeah, so she's giving like the little thumbs up, like yeah, go for it, I guess. But then we see a little flashback panel to earlier in the conversation when Manny was like, nobody does that for me, and like her expression is kind of like, oh man, I don't help my little buddy out as much as I could either. Yeah. But
Nice.
she's
trying to
approving
extend
of
your
where this
senses
is
here?
going for you. I think this is my regular senses because I have one of my superpowers is my hyper animal senses. So if I stretch it, it'd be more. But I think somebody 10 feet away is fine.
So you're not trying to get anything else out of this scene.
No,
Okay.
I'm just pointing out that she heard that and took it to heart earlier.
I think sort of maybe Flois doesn't notice this, but like people who like really analyze the panel of like your impressionistic painting of this scene notice that like there's like this foreign presence about Lila.
Ooh,
About Lila.
cool.
That like if you were more focused and like less like worried about your friend, you would
Right.
notice like there is something like weird about
That's cool. Yeah, that's an Easter egg for the
Yeah.
eagle-eyed viewer or reader.
Yeah. She's putting the number on the phone. He like looks over, he sees it, gives the thumbs up, and he kind of nervously grins. This like tiny little bat boy grin. It's like super thin.
Yeah.
Little bean mouth with the fangs.
Oh my god.
And like awkwardly gives a thumbs up back underneath the table. Like a,
nice.
Yeah.
like I guess I'm doing this. And then he like looks back and just kind of has like a hand on the chin. Like I'm fascinated by you. Lila. Thanks.
Of course. That band you have on your Spotify app, I love them, by the way. And she like slides the phone back to you and like sort of stands up and walks out. And like she sort of gives a little wave to Flo's and like all the jocks, and like all the jocks are like, Rick's like stupid, like happy, like waving, like, oh, it's a girl. And I think that's where issue 11 concludes, and we have a page of letters to the editor that everybody skips, and an ad that nobody wants to read, and then we have a couple alternate covers. Who's got an idea of what an alternate cover for issue 11 looks like?
Number one, I want to give influence to Lila.
Yeah. Oh, perfect.
Ooh.
So at any time you can give influence to someone who doesn't already have it over you.
Mhm.
And Manny 100% is being influenced by Lila.
Mhm.
So I'm just going to add that to my sheet.
Perfect.
Nice.
And then I guess since I'm already talking, I can talk about an alternate cover.
Yeah,
I think
please.
the alternate cover is that scene, that last scene,
Mhm.
where it's drawn like a oh my god, Saturday Evening Post, Norman Rockwell.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
It's done like a Norman Rockwell painting.
Yeah.
So it's like a stark white background, except for the diner booth
Mhm.
that they're in this like very like kind of Americana 50s like style,
Mhm.
where there's a malt between them
Mhm.
with the two straws coming out, and Lila's sipping it, but she has that weird like sort of menacing aura behind her,
Yeah.
trailing off of her, like come off the left side, so it's like
Mhm.
shadowy energy or whatever.
Mhm.
And then trailing off of Manny's side as he's like sipping out of the straw, like on a stack of books. He's sitting on a phone book to reach the table.
Oh my god.
Or like is a trail of hearts, because he's just like totally smitten, coming off the back of him. And then I think like in the window are Rodasi, Fliodhas, and Tanvi looking in with like Rodasi maybe is like Fliodhas is like, yeah, and Tanvi is just giving him the stink eye.
I think in this alternative cover we get we get hints that Tanvi knows Lila, and like what does Tanvi look in this alternate cover?
Oh,
What's
Tanvi
Tanvi's
knows
actual
Lila.
expression seeing
Yeah.
Lila with Manny like being all like cute?
Ooh.
Like, is it rage? Is it like you're already lifting ready to attack in this like background of the image?
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
trying.
because it's like. Oh, sorry, go.
Yeah, I'm trying to think what her reaction would be here.
Or is there like some conflict? Like, oh, my friend is happy, but like
Yeah.
I know better.
Yeah, I think she's like. I think she's got like a face of like strained happiness, where it's like, I'm trying to show that this is great. This is wonderful. Because I don't want to stress anyone else out. But you can see a little bit behind her, there are just like pieces of rock that are like sharpened to a point and are just kind of facing inward. That just seem to be kind of like pulling up
Okay.
a little out
Eagle-
of her control.
The eagle-eyed readers are like, oh, that they think it's like, this is what Manny. It's like they think it's because she's mad at Manny, but actually,
Right.
if you see the
You have to
trajectory,
triangulate it.
like if you see it's actually facing towards. Yeah.
Some people are like, oh, why is Tanvi jealous? Like, what's this? And like
Yeah.
people are like, no, if you actually read this, if you actually read issue 3 where we went to Tanvi's backstory and saw the flashback, they have the same silhouette.
Yeah.
Someone pulls out their protractor. If you follow the angle of
If you
where
look on
the
Our
rocks would
subreddit
go.
is like really into this cover.
Okay, I have a good one for our other cover.
Yes, please.
So this is our dark and edgy cover. It's the like close up shot of the floor on the volleyball field that has the like the big chunk torn out of it, like splintering the wood where Tanvi ripped it out. And then lying partially across that is Manny's hoodie with like all of the trash and the paint and whatever that the bullies put on it. And there is like sort of over on the other side, the like warped, unfinished clay pottery of Floas. And then just like right down in the middle center, looking so inconspicuous, is the tiny scrap of paper that's just compressed into a tiny
Yes.
ball.
Yes.
Oh, that's so good. I love it's so dark, and people are like, "What is this? Oh no!" No,
So
it's-
good.
All the lighting is dramatic in it.
Yeah.
oh, I have one. I think
Mhm.
it's like a cover. It's like a facing the like the detention desks,
Yeah.
and it's like Rodasi like really kind of like annoyed and like kind of like sitting there and is like, ugh. And then Tanvi probably like just kind of like hanging out. You know what I mean? Like this is fine. And
Yeah.
then there's like their arms are like stretched across like between the desks as they're handing a note to each other. And there's like this like like kind of speech bubble-esque thing that goes down to the note that then frames Varsity Hues written in like pen and stuff as
Nice.
they're
Yeah, and,
like,
passing
letter
that note.
pen.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
they're passing that note to each other.
That's
And
so
it says like
good.
detention on like a wall behind them, like so you're like,
Yeah.
what's going on over here, like,
Rue, do you have an idea for an alternate cover? You don't have to. Like, if anything comes to you.
Yeah, I'm trying to think if I can think of something.
oh, I just want to make clear, I
Yeah.
feel like it's our cover is drawn in like the style of a Betty and Veronica cover.
Yeah.
Aw.
That's it.
It's got like 10 cents on the corner.
Yeah.
I think an alternate cover that we have is one of the dodgeball scene, but it's kind of like an AU version of what happened. And it has all of us, and it's just the four of us highlighted. Like everyone else is just kind of like white noise in the background. And it's like all of us super happy, having a great time. Like there's powers going through, and then as you kind of like expand out, it's like Tanvi like asleep in the dungeon, or the dungeon.
The dunge.
Oh yeah, that can totally be the alternate cover. Like you feel like the tension is a dungeon.
No, so very
In your bedroom.
weird
Yeah.
slip of the tongue. Freud, don't get at me. It's just her asleep in detention, and it's like her kind of like
Detention.
reconfiguring like what happened to like, oh, we had a great time, and it was us bonding as friends.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're like asleep on the desk.
And then we turn over to the next page where we have our end of session discussion, where we have the editor's notes asking, team, how do we feel about this week's session? And then we get like little chibi style head cuts
Aw.
of just your heads, like talking about the session, like how do you feel? So at the end of every session, each of you chooses one. You either grow closer to the team, you grow into your own image of yourself, or you grow away from the team. Rodasi, how do you feel about this session?
I feel like I'm between either grow away from the team or grow into your own image of yourself. I think I'm gonna say grow away from the team because it's been a lot of like because I really like what Manny was saying about this, and I think like Rodasi in this issue really is kind of like saying shit and like doing stuff, but it maybe like doesn't really feel like a, I don't know, doesn't really feel like a leader. She feels like kind of like a mom almost, or feels like a nagging older sibling, and is like, I think kind of annoyed at the fact that it's like, okay, yeah, like I have to be taking care of everybody, you know what I mean? Even though I think there's like really nice friend moments that happen, but it's like I feel like I have to like have my fingers in the lives of all these people. Is why I think it's more like away from the team is the best kind of way.
Yeah, and it's hard to grow into yourself when you're feeling insecure.
Yes. Yeah. The opposite would be I'm not really. I don't feel like this is strengthening her image of herself.
So Rodasi is feeling detached. You take influence over you away from another character.
Take influence over you away. Oh, okay. So I can.
So who has influence over you?
Everybody.
All of us.
Still. Yeah.
Awesome.
I actually want. I think I want to take influence away from Manny.
Yeah.
Wow.
I think like we're.
Rude.
You gotta do it for somebody.
Man, you just got bullied, and now you're really just gonna. Wow.
We didn't really have a lot of conversation though.
Yeah.
Exactly. You're just getting picked on for no reason.
I also I was kind of an ass to you about your
Yeah.
family.
Which like I really enjoy. Like that's why I think it's like all right. Like if I feel like it's like all right, if I gotta be the bad guy, I'll be the bad guy. And I feel like that's why it's like all right, Manny. Like I need you to. I think maybe even like relate to you a little bit about like you shouldn't have like grabbed you put yourself in danger in dodgeball like that. You think that's the right move, but like you shouldn't like jumping into something like that could have hurt you. Like I feel like there's a kind of a lot where I'm like I gotta talk to Manny about this, and that's kind of where that's coming from.
All right. So Manny loses influence over Rodasi. Yep. Speaking of Manny, how do you feel about the session? How do you feel about the team?
Manny's going to grow into his own image of himself, mostly by virtue of that last scene.
Yeah.
So I think over the course of the whole episode, like he kind of was figuring out a little bit about who he is, but having that conversation is opening him to the idea that like he's not just a monster, that like he can embrace that, but also he has something to offer to people.
Yeah.
Which is the first time he's like really hearing that. Because I think that Rodasi like is supportive as a team, but not necessarily like, and here's what you bring to the table, and here's how I can nurture you. You're still learning your leadership skills.
Right.
So he's going to shift his superior up and his mundane down.
One day we're gonna need these mundane scores.
I know.
We're gonna be rolling with
I
negative
just
twos
used
on
it
all
to
our comfort and
use Lila's
support.
mask.
It's gonna be so
The
good.
second we try and comfort or support each other, it's going to be a mess.
Yeah, I love it.
Gonna say
That's,
all the
that's
wrong
the snowball.
Yeah.
Lois, how do you feel about the team? About
I
the
think
individual?
I grew closer to the team. I
Yeah.
had pretty good connections with everybody. I didn't quite get to reinforce my potential rivalry with Tanvi, but she was cool and scary, so it definitely. I'm like, yep, I'm still like very impressed by her. So that's good. I liked having the learning sports and
You grew
having
into
an
this
eating
team,
contest.
You grew into the football team.
Yeah, I have
See what
so
team
many
you're going
teams
to
now.
I know. Collecting all the teams.
As you grow
Okay.
into the team, give influence to the character and explain who made you feel welcome. Give influence to that character and clear a condition or mark potential.
Honestly, I think that Rodasi made me feel the most welcome. So
100%.
I will give you influence, which I already have, which means that I shift your labels, which is
Oh no,
fun.
Rodasi gives influence.
I get
over
You get influence from me.
You finally
How
have
about I do?
influence.
Finally.
Finally have
I
influence
do.
over someone.
You know what?
Oh,
I already
that makes
more
I
sense.
already do. Yeah.
Oh, so you get to shift her labels.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, yay.
I want to shift your superior up because I feel like that's like I'm like let's get you on a team.
Yeah, you're
let's do all this
learning
stuff.
me
I'm-
about stuff.
I'm gassing you up, baby.
Yeah.
And then maybe I feel like instead
Or-
of bumping your
or is it like you're trying to help them be more mundane by fitting in into Earth culture and society?
Hmm.
Not like trying to tell you
No,
one way or the other. Just
I think that feels a lot more on point. Yeah. So I think I'll raise my main up, and then I think I want to drop Freak.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's totally good.
Because I was on the fence about whether I'm dropping Mundane or dropping Freak, but absolutely, yeah. That works.
That's
that works
cool.
out great.
I like that.
somebody has some mundane.
Yeah, I'm the most mundane out of all of us.
The person
Alien.
not from this
Yeah.
Rodasi
planet.
also has a very good mundane.
I
And then
actually do.
I
have
will
two mundane, I
also
forgot
mark
about those.
potential.
Hell
'Cause I don't have any conditions to clear.
XP.
Tanvi, how do you feel about the team by the end of issue 11?
I'm a little torn because I feel like there were moments where she is getting closer. I'm trying to think which overall. How is
Yeah.
she feeling?
Kind of how I'm thinking about it, right? It's like when you say team, you mean like as a whole, right? It's not necessarily just
Yeah.
individual actions.
I think she grew away from the team, from like what happened. I feel like we're leading into the potential of she might get closer maybe in the next portion of the story, but in this one she had these moments and then they got flipped really hard, and I think that's
Yeah, I
what's
love that.
in her head. So let's-
So who do you take influence away from?
oh,
You are currently influenced by Manny and Fliodhas.
oh,
It would make a lot of sense if you
That's-
took away Manny's.
yeah,
because
I
you did
think
have that
so.
that
We
interaction.
had that
Oof.
nasty scene where like I almost took away my own influence to hurt you.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. That like, I'm not quite catering to your opinion as much right now.
This ended up a lot messier and juicier than I thought it would. I'm like,
Yeah, that was cool.
That's
Yeah.
mess, baby.
Almost like it's designed for it.
Yeah. Helps have
Game
great plays, you know,
design.
like,
Yeah.
makes them drop.
Yeah, we really want to play into it. We're like, you know what? Let's hurt each other a little bit.
Let's be meanies.
And with that, we reach the back cover, which is a continuation of those full turnarounds in the fashion art style, fashion sketch art style.
So
And that is our
good.
issue. That is issue 11 of Varsity Hues and A&H Publishing production.
Season 5.
Publishing.
Yeah, first
We're in it,
episode
baby.
of season 5 of
We
All
had
That's
a
Here.
raid coming in with 9 people right as we're finishing. Oh,
Betty Games, welcome.
Oh,
We're doing our
it was
outros.
very good. We promise.
Welcome,
It was really
everyone. We love having you here. Sorry we missed you. Please catch the VODs. They're available for free over in the other tab. Is that how Twitch works?
Yeah.
They'll find
They're
me.
available.
Let's-
They're available on Twitch, and we will be uploading them to YouTube as per usual.
Yes. We will. Eventually, someday. Maybe all the episodes. It's
Yeah,
hit and
every
miss.
episode this time. We're not going to have any holes. We're not going to have any missing parts.
No.
Every episode.
But those missing issues, those will be worth the most value if you
That's true.
catch them.
Yeah, make sure to fraps this as it goes up, just in case.
You go and also download and see if you get the special edition.
Let's have our players introduce themselves to our incoming folks and to our folks who've been here. Let's see. Alex, tell us who you are, where people can find you.
Hi, everyone. Thanks so much for watching. I'm Alex Guerrero. You can find me on Twitter at @FractalDragon, and I design games at fractaldragon.itch.io.
Rue, Gloria, where are you at?
Hello, everyone. I'm Rue. I played Tanvi today. I'm also the producer of the show. You can find me on Twitter at CherryDrop, and you can find all my games at rue7.itch.io.
Viditya? Talk about yourself.
Hey everybody, I was Viditya, I will be, and will continue to be Viditya until not.
Wow.
You can find me online at Viditya Voleti, and you can buy my games at vidityavoleti.itch.io, like Blood Bean Badlands, a fun game about being vampires in the apocalypse. If you remember our charity stream that was on Saturday.
That's also on the All Nerds Here YouTube.
All
Yeah.
Very worth checking out. Vid, can I write your obituary? And it's just one line, and it's just, and then he was not.
And then he was not. Oh, that's really good.
Simon,
What
tell
a
us about yourself.
Hey, I'm Simon. You can find me on Twitter at Lucha Libris. I write and publish tabletop role-playing games at colorspraygames.itch.io. I wear a lot of hats on the internet. You can find me on the queer sci-fi and fantasy audio drama The Penumbra podcast, which Viditya tells me is very good.
Oh.
He's catching up on it.
Oh,
If you want to hear yourself represented in stories, that's at the Penumbra Pod on Twitter, thepenumbrapodcast.com. I'm also a moderator and a team member over on Magpie Games and the Magpie Games Discord. And you can check out, speaking of Magpie Games, my work in Root, the role-playing game, which is now available at your friendly local game store and on DriveThruRPG. So if you want to play some woodland animals doing crimes in the forest with swords, go check that out and play with all my expansion tools in the Travelers and Outsiders expansion.
Yes. And I have been Kevin. You can find my games over at winconditions.itch.io. That's Nguyen for win. And you'll never find me anywhere, you fucking cops. You won't catch me. Night, y'all.
I think we're going to be going to raid actual play right now.
Yeah.
So get your love ready to share with other folks in the
They're
TPRPG
playing,
space. Stick with us and check it out.
a new game made by Ray, who's an incredible game designer, Filipino game designer, is the tester right now. So this is
Hell yeah.
first episode.
We love playtests.
Hey. Or playtest.
Come back next Wednesday at 8:30 Eastern, 5:30 Pacific for more superhero teen action.
Issue 12.
Issue
Just like
12,
issue 2,
yeah, that's
but
right.
11 times better.
What?
That's how that